different occasions, commencing as far back as late last year to no avail. And in some of those communications, the last communication, he responded to it. And he said, if I can recall, at the bottom of said communication, he said that it was his last time talking on said matter. So thereafter, last Friday, we were to conduct this exercise, but the leadership all has been seized by the former Speaker of Councillor Jonathan Kofa of Grand Creek District Number 2, and we have made several efforts as a plenary to have that office open. We're sending 5 communications, different communications on different occasions, commencing as far back as late last year to no avail. And in some of those communications, the last communication, he responded to it. And he said, if I can recall, at the bottom of said communication, he said that it was his last time talking on said matter. So thereafter, last Friday, we were to conduct this exercise, but the leadership advised that since you're coming to the country, we allow you to come over the weekend and have his things removed. Up to yesterday, Monday, even went to work and declared our action as a coup. And they asked him as to whether, how long will he continue to fight? And he said, fight for what? Everything has been taken, the speakership has been taken, and he still insisted that he could not turn the office over in that interview. And he said it was the last time talking on it. And we need to have this office prepared for use by the speaker. As you are aware, it's a statutory office. It enables the speaker to have his staff, press director, COS, WCOS, resource officer, with gender coordinator, and the list goes on. So there are a couple of staff that need to be in there. We also need that office to enable him to have a comfortable space in interacting with guests to be able to discuss the interests of Liberia, inclusive of the conference room. So it's against that backdrop that plenary took an action to enable this committee rule order. We are 2 here, but we are now 2. This is a committee of certain persons to carry on this exercise today. So please do me this favor. I think it will be appreciated. It will give opportunity to one another one at a time. So if you ask a question, maybe another person want to ask, just allow them to flow.
So, I mean, Webster Clay from Front Page Africa. I mean, going for what next for the embattled speaker, Jay Fanadiko?
I don't know who you call embattled speaker.
Representative
Speaker Emeritus or Representative Kofa is not embattled speaker. He has been removed. I don't know when you saw him performing the responsibility or discharging the function of a speaker of recent. Since November, December of last year, up to present, he has not discharged the responsibility or function of a speaker. So how do you call him battle? There is a man who is removed, and not only removed, but he's replaced, and not only replaced, but he doesn't come to work. Speaker Emeritus has not come to work for more than 24 section days. And I will want to inform the public about Rule 20.1 and 20.2 of the House's standing rules. It says that a member who fails to come to work more than 2 weeks without an excuse of plenary, said member has committed an offense that is punishable. So I just want the public to also understand that not only Speaker Emeritus, but other police who feel that they want to stay home, not to come to work, but every month go to the bank and take their salary, I think it's unjust for Liberian people. So I want to use this meeting to give them a wake-up call that they can put Liberia first and find reason to come to work. If you say you don't want to come to work, they say not prudent enough to help us not to take a salary, but you can't be taking salary, you don't justify, you don't deserve it, you don't work for it. Who are you then? Then you call yourself rule of law caucus? You are the first violator of the rule of law. Yes.
Yeah. In November, you wrote Councillor Kofa asking him to give the list of his staffers so that they can pay for December and months ensuing. Has he, furnished you with the listing of his staffers since he is taking pay also? He's taking pay. That's what I'm wondering. Why would Speaker Emeritus want to be taking pay? Staff are not taking pay. I'm wondering why. But sometimes again, I wonder that, well,
maybe they know what they are on. But if I'm taking pay and my staff are not taking pay, then I've been wicked to my staff. Mainly in the wake of the season festival, Chris Smoking and Pass, because of inability to submit his assistant staff, they didn't take pay. New York and Pass, they didn't take pay. Even as of now, he has not submitted a name. But we're interested to know that he's taking his benefit as a lawmaker. So that's one thing I'm still wondering. He no longer been paid as speaker, he now paid as representative. And he still take the immunity of the representative. So why would he not want to submit the names of his staff?
If you talk about immunity, you talk about gasoline, you talk about all
I
those.
said to you, the speaker is receiving his immunity. That's all I can say to that. I want you to ask the speaker as to whether he did not take pay for the month of December. The former speaker emerit or the speaker emeritus. I want you to ask him as to whether he never took pay for the month of January. And for the month of February, except for any reason there's a decision by plenary, but I'm very sure that he will obviously take pay. Yeah.
Honorable, my name is
From here,
from Spoon.
Spoon to spoon.
Yeah, did you receive any code evasion order to carry on this exercise? People are concerned about that.
The speaker emeritus received a code clearance to assemble at the offices of hosting the speaker. One thing I don't understand is this. There are three separate and coordinating branches. We cannot subject our working to that of the court. Similarly, the court cannot subject our working to us. We as a body, as a branch of government, we took a decision in plenary, and leadership endorsed said decision. So we honor obligation to implement said decision. The decision taken is not a horizontal or a collect decision. It is a decision of plenary. So I think that you be asking as to whether likewise, similarly, as to whether Honorable Kofa, when he was ascending to the speakership, the user office, whether the court gave him a clearance. So I go to ERBC.
Yeah, now the office has been invaded. I'm concerned as to when do we expect to see Honorable Kum taking our office?
The first thing is I want to take the office. You saw the situation in there. His personal, pieces of maybe should I say personal belonging. You went there. What did you see there as personal belonging besides maybe the photos, the sheets, and maybe some of the dustbins, and you saw for yourself, right? So I'm still asking myself.
I'm asking when do we expect?
I want to respond to you. I want to lay a premise. I'm yet asking myself why this man was keeping the work of the legislature at hostage, and you've been here for a little while on legislative coverage. Many times you see people coming with contempt, and attempt to obstruct the work of the legislature, right? So what he was doing to keep the office of the speaker closed, and nothing absolutely is there besides pieces of papers and you name it rest that are not essential. Was that not obstructing the work of the legislature as well? Or should we be biased in our decision? If it were a minister who did that, then we're passing a vote of no confidence at this time, asking them to go behind the roster bar of South Beach. But why do that to one of our colleagues were elect to do similar action that we know fully well that if it were done by a member or agent of the executive, we were going against them. But to satisfy your curiosity, I say to you that the office of the speaker will be turned over in the soonest possible time. There will be some maintenance or renovation work. When it is done, the public will be informed as to when the speaker will officially be taking his office.
Yeah, so I want to know since
ERPC is dominant.
Close to 3 months now, I'm calling to you, the former speaker, and having work, but yet there's still.
Okay, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, all of you across the world. Thanks for joining us on another edition of the program. This is the Late Night Show, the Late Night Politics on Spoon. We are here again to make sure we serve you breakfast or dinner based on where you are, where you're joining us from, or the time at which you get to watch this program. Here tonight on the Late Night Show, we bring you the updates, the analysis, the views, the comments, everything relative to the happenings across Liberia. The full package here every single day. meant to bring you up to speed with what the happenings are across Liberia. I'd like to welcome everyone to today's edition of the program. We're live across the Spoon Network, Spoon FM 107.5. We're live on Fabric Radio 101.1 and a host of other radio stations across Liberia. Thanks to all of our partner radio stations that will most times relay the program even without telling us. We appreciate all of you for your respective contributions to this process. I'd like to welcome everyone. It's going to be a great show tonight. A lot happening across Liberia. Happy Armed Forces Day to the gallant men and women in arms protecting the territorial confines of our country. We appreciate all of you for the tremendous contributions you continue to make to our country. I also want to welcome everyone joining us in the comment section. To those of you joining us across the internet, Spoon TV, Fabric TV, Super TV on Facebook, on YouTube, Spoon Talk Live. We appreciate you. Let me recognize a few of you in the comment section tonight. Just before bringing the team on, I see we're going to have a full house tonight because so many things happening across the country. There's just a whole lot happening one at a time, just back to back, in fact. And we're going to make the most of the time we have to be here to touch on all of those issues tonight. William B. Morris, thanks for joining us from Texas tonight. We appreciate you for coming on. Our dear sister, Shirley. Shirley, come on, Shirley. Winifred Dumbo. Hope I got the name right. You joining us tonight. We appreciate you. Kabu Harris, Joshua Moba Jr. I see Lawrence Kamara is here as well. Coco Zakura, James Heenan, P. Isa Tawali, Eric McGill, and all of you joining us tonight. Hipko Kazi, I appreciate you for coming on. John Fireman, Emmanuel Dubo Jr. Thanks for coming on. Let's hope we can have a great show tonight. Will Enders, that's Willie Enders, joining us from Kakata. We appreciate you tonight as well. Let me go across and bring the team on. I see our dear brother here, Muzi Abraham. Muzi. Yeah. Am I getting the name right? Muzi. Or should I say MZ? You are muted.
The name. Many Liberians always make mistake. Some of them, if I call me Mze, it's Mze. The name is Mze. It is a Kenyan name.
What is the U? Because when you say Mose,
no, it's Mze. Mze. Yeah.
Okay, Mze. It's like saying
it's Mze. That was the name that was given to the former president to the late President Jomo Kenyatta of Kenya.
How did a Liberian man get a Kenyan name? I'm just curious a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like Afro getting the name. What's the famous name for Afro on the show? Lee Kuan Yew. Lee Kuan Yew. Yeah, but it's good to have you on tonight, AB. Thanks for joining us. I like to call it that way for short, AB. But Francis Jabate is here. It's been a minute, Francis. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate you for joining us tonight as well.
Thanks, Nelson. Mazi, good to see you.
Yeah.
One of our people in Liberia. Good evening, wherever you are. Good to be here. I've been busy, man. We got to do the 1-2-1-2 and make time for the show too sometime.
Yeah. You remind me of the typical Liberian way when you say 1-2-1-2. President gets a real colloquial that when you listen to sometimes you can pay the thing that the men are else and men.
I only go up begin, so we let Labrador leave us.
Well, let me bring, something is happening. It's George is being very careful as to how he associates with the CDC, or he's contemplating on making some kind of decision. Initially, George would join the show with the name George CDC Australia, but he removed the CDC Australia to tell you that, look, this thing is getting to a point where there may be no comeback for the CDC. So George is being very careful how he associates with the CDC. He
Yeah,
removed
the
the CDC
party.
Australia and he left the George. He's being very careful.
Yeah, I
Did you
spoke with
notice
George.
that?
I spoke with George yesterday. George is contemplating on joining the United Party.
No. He said he's going to Musa Belede party.
George, when I talked to George yesterday, I mean, I was able to convince him.
You convinced George.
I'm persuasive. So I was able to
persuasive.
Yeah, I was able to use my persuasive method. But Josh is a good guy. He's a good guy. When he comes to the United Party, I mean, we have a spot for him.
You got a spot for him.
We have a spot for everyone. Everyone.
But do you have a spot for Fasco as well?
We are concentrating on that.
Well, John,
guys, thank you for having me, man. Yeah, it's wonderful to be here. Look, man, guys, for me, my whole thing is that I'm a guy who is attracted not by beauty, but attracted by attribute and ideology, right? So the thing about me is that I'm not with CDC because of George Weah. I'm with CDC because of the ideology that comes with CDC. That an ordinary person can become somebody, you know what I mean, in our society without having
ordinary person
to
can become.
Yeah.
So you're trying to say that in United Party, ordinary people can become somebody?
No, the man did not
So
say
United
that.
Party, you think it's for the elite? So
it's for the elite.
The man did not say that. In fact,
so it's for the elite. No, AB, don't try to twist things here. It's for the elite, like the elites like AB. It's for the elites like MOBA. The United Party is for the elites like who else? You know, like our brother Sheikh Sharif.
Let us
the
look
Chief
at
Information Officer of the Republic of Liberia.
Let us look at who funded the United Party.
Okay, we're going to the history there.
The United Party was funded by B.N. Kizely. And B.N. Kizely, he was a commoner. All right? He informed the United Party so that the common people voice came in. We the one who make sure.
But the idea was hijacked. It was hijacked.
Look at you. Look at
It was hijacked.
Who hijacked the idea?
Did he become president or Ellen Johnson became president?
Guys, I want to say thanks to all of you tonight. It's going to be a great show. We look forward to having an interesting engagement here tonight. Charles, thank you. I see you eating a little bit of Gary while you're on the show. It's a good thing to have you joining us tonight. I just hope you know that we don't eat on the show. Thank you. It's good you were in the background to adjust. I just hope you know we don't eat on the show. But it's going to be a great show tonight, guys. There's a whole lot happening across the country. Today, Liberia observed the 68th Armed Forces Day of the country. 68th Armed Forces Day. Last year, we didn't get to see the Armed Forces Day celebration and all of the glamour and the festivity and everything that will go with Armed Forces Day because there was a protest. And the protest resulted to the blocking of major corridors of our country. And so Armed Forces Day, in a long time, or I stand to be corrected, for the first time, was pushed. It was suspended. The Armed Forces Day celebration was suspended. So there wasn't any Armed Forces Day celebration, So, but today we had one. And as part of the Armed Forces Day celebration, the President of the Republic of Liberia was seen in this photo, on a pickup truck, and as they paraded the barrack today, and that has sparked some concerns, with others saying that why the president even did that. Some saying that like former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, who worked her way around that vicinity on Armed Forces Day, like former President George Weah, current President Baraka should have done so. And right at the time when that debate started, then we saw several photos, numerous photos of other presidents across the world in similar position that President Baraka found himself in today. And so there has been some, mixed views with respect to what happened today. But the Sierra Leonean president who served as the orator today was more concerned about the military taking that posture, that exhibiting that neutrality, where the military will not take a side. The military will stay away from the regular politics of the day. The military will be that force that will uphold the democracy of the country or democratic tenets, and the need for the military to remain professional. But on the flip side, we also saw why the activity was going on. We also saw the eviction of the speaker today from his office. Let's say in battle Speaker Kofa. Honorable Kofa was evicted. The rules order and administration committee there at the House of Representatives decided to enforce the eviction exercise after, according to them, 5 communications to Councillor Kofa. And when he responded to the last one by saying that it was the last time he would ever respond to communication, especially with respect to Councillor Kofa exiting that office. And so then the plenary decided to carry on an eviction exercise. And most of you saw Representative James Colette was being asked as to whether he had a court order to carry on the eviction. He went on to say that the legislature is a separate branch of government, and there at the legislature, their actions are not subjected to another branch of government. So they have their own rules that govern what to do, how to do at that first branch of government. That doesn't subject them to another branch of government. That doesn't get another branch of government to interfere with what they do. And so what they do was in line with the rules there at the House of Representatives. So we saw that the eviction exercise, and since then there has been different reactions to the situation we saw of Capitol Hill today, and of course we are going to bring some of those different reactions and everything coming to that particular situation today. And so yes, these are just a few of the many happenings across the country today. We're going to do our opening, and then we'll go into the conversation tonight. We will go into the conversation tonight. But I want us to do our opening, and maybe we can just go around the table, starting with you, AB. 1 minute. What's on your mind? What is it you want to talk about in your opening? Just before moving to the conversations tonight.
Nancy, I want to tell you thank you for giving me the opportunity for me to be part of this show tonight. I mean,
You're very low. I can't hear you.
Yeah, maybe you want to step up a bit, AB. You're a little bit low.
I am low.
Yeah. You're good. Yeah.
Like I said, I mean, thank you to Spoon FM for giving me the opportunity at this time for me to be able to come here and flex my intellectual muscles. I mean, I am very much happy that today's celebration was done in a cool atmosphere, that the current president was given the name Chief Tambatelo. So I am very much happy, and I cannot wait for me to be able to talk more about that. And on the issues that have to do with the eviction process of the former speaker, J. Fonate Kofa. Thank you.
Thank you. Francis, you want to do your opening?
Yeah, it's good to be back. There's a lot going on in Liberia with the issue of the president on the pickup truck. I will ask the people or the critics of the president is to compare the president age with that of former President Weah and Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Their ages at the time, they also had the armed forces there in Liberia, to compare that age with President Boakai. So we can talk about all the ineffectiveness or the lack of progress they are making in the country right now. That's a different conversation. But to say what an elderly man that is way older than former President Weah and older than former President Sirleaf at the time she was president, to say he's on a pickup truck, the Liberian people look at him and they voted for him. They knew his age. It was not hard. He didn't get football age. They knew his health condition and they voted for him. This is what happened. They say, the songwriter said, when a woman fed up, there's nothing you can do about it. So don't blame President Barker. Blame the corrupt and ineffective leadership of former President George Weah that brought President Barker into office. Because if he was a good leader, a good president of the country, the Liberian people would not have gone and voted for President Barker. So we can talk about what President Barker is not doing right for the country, but we cannot sit here and try to compare the three presidents, especially President Barker, way older than those guys, even now. And then when they were president, they were much younger. So you can't compare the two. That's a lazy argument to make. But however, we are here to talk about our country and make sure we hold the administration accountable for what they are doing and not doing to our people in Liberia. Thank you.
Josh?
Look, thank you guys, and I appreciate it's a humbling moment to be here. So I just want to thank you all for letting me to air my view on these things. And look, I just want to pay homage to my grandfather. He was a soldier in Liberia Army, and I want to thank all those who are sacrificing their lives and putting themselves on the line to represent our country, wearing the green and black and whatever other color that follows. So, Nelson, I just want to say something quickly about this thing. I know we're going to delve into it more deeply when it comes to the president's activities on the Armed Forces Day. I understand that my brother was talking about age. I don't think age is the issue because Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is 6 years older than President Boakai. And she was born 1938. He was born 1944. So there is an age difference there. So I don't think this thing is about age difference. And what I want to say to that is that, and I know we're going to go into it deeply, is that if President Boakai needs a headquarters to inspect the army, it's okay with me. I don't have a problem. But those of you who want to reduce yourself to saying that that's a good idea, you know what I mean, or it's a good thing, I think it's not efficiency, because look, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, who was even older than him, walked and inspected the troop. And because our troops are just 1,500, very less, and you are not inspecting every one of them. It's just those in a line. That's just all. So President Boakai cannot walk that piece of distance to inspect, those gentlemen. And he gets into a car. You cannot compare it to South Korea. South Korea, the whole city, their army. Not South Korea, North Korea. America, we know America got the biggest army in the world. One of the biggest armies. So you cannot inspect them you walking. You're going to spend maybe an entire day doing that. And because of the ceremony's sake, you have to use a vehicle that will take you quickly. So we are not going to compare them to Liberia. That's the same thing you guys used to say about sedition. Now, when George Weah tripped, and you're talking about who can say, oh, you can bring picture of people that trip around the world. That's exactly what you guys are doing now. I don't know what's the difference. That's why Liberia does not go anywhere. Because the same thing you criticized yesterday, you back it today, making it to feel that it's good to do or it's a normal thing to do. It's ridiculous. But you know what? That's the type of people we have. That is what society will have. So let's go on with it. Thank you, Nelson.
Thank you, George. Frank, Charles, you want to do your opening?
Yeah, let me say good evening, good morning, good afternoon, based on your respectful location. Again, it is always an honor to be here, Nelson. Thank you for this opportunity. I know that we have topics that we're going to dive into later on. So I really don't going to touch anything until the appropriate time comes. But my concern has to do with my country, Liberia. What is going on in Liberia? What really is going on with our country? I hear people, we always try to let's forget about Jovia. Jovia is done. The government passed. Why we always comparing this government to Jovia government? Why? It is upon this government now to change those things that we complain about. And when we come here, we keep comparing them. It means we're not going anywhere. Because if Jovia did this thing, so yeah, it is good for this government to do it. And it's because the other person did it, so yeah, it is good for this person. They were not going anywhere because it was because of those same things we removed those other people. So to this government now is upon them to do the right thing that will make Liberian people not to move them. But we keep comparing, we keep doing the same thing, we keep coming, we come here, we compare, we come here, we compare. It's not carrying Liberia anywhere. And I'm one person of that kind of opinion that since CDC failed us, Unity Party in the past 6 years failed us. They have in the past 12 years failed us. They have another 6 years here, 6 years, and this 6 years is already rocking and shaking, is bumping up, and we can see it. Therefore, guys, we need different alternative. If these two parties cannot serve our country, we need an alternative because they are trying on the same path. Both parties on the same path. Look at massive corruptions in our country. People just taking money from nowhere and nothing is being done about it. The money that's supposed to be placed in the health sector, that's supposed to be placed in schools. Children are fighting for chairs. Go Maryland County. There are towns, there are villages, there are areas that kids there don't have seat to sit. They're sitting on breaks. There are people dying because of common illness in our country today. But we come here and comparing people, wherein people just stealing money that is able to take money to use for the health sector, and we come here and want to compare Jovia with Joseph Boaga. Come on now, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thanks a lot, Charles. And this is very important for the sake of the country. You know, it's important that we have these conversations. You know, I want us to start up with this eviction situation up Capitol Hill today. We played portion of the video when Representative James Collier was being interviewed, and some of what he said during that interview. I want us to go back here a little, just a little portion of this, just a portion of this one for the sake of our audience.
Has been seized by the former Speaker Honorable Councillor Jonathan Kofa of Grand Creek District Number 2, and we have made several efforts as a plenary to have that office open. We're sending 5 communications, different communications on different occasions, commencing as far back as late last year to no avail. And in some of those communications, the last communication, he responded to it. And he said, if I can recall, at the bottom of said communication, he said that it was his last time talking on said matter. So thereafter, last Friday, we were to conduct this exercise, but the leadership advised that since you're coming to the country, we allow him to come over the weekend and have his things removed. Up to yesterday, Monday, even went to work and declared our action as a coup. And they asked him as to whether, how long will he continue to fight? And he said, fight for what? Everything has been taken, the speakership has been taken, and he still insisted that he could not turn the office over in that interview. And he said it was the last time talking on it. And we need to have this office prepared for use by the speaker. As you are aware, it's a statutory office. It enables the speaker to have his staff, press director, COS, deputy COS, resource officer, with general coordinator, and the list goes on. So there are a couple of staff that need to be in there. We also need that office to enable him to have a comfortable space in interacting with guests to be able to discuss the interests of Liberia, inclusive of the conference room. So it's against that backdraft that plenary took an action to enable this committee in rule order. We are 2 here, but we are now 2. This is a committee of certain persons to carry on this exercise today. So please do me this favor. I think it'll be appreciated. It will give opportunity to one another one at a time. So if you ask a question, maybe another person want to ask, just allow them to flow.
So, I'm Webster Clay from Front-Page Africa. Going for what next for the embattled speaker, Jim Fanatico?
I don't know who you call embattled speaker.
Representative
Speaker Emeritus or Representative Kofa is not embattled speaker. He has been removed. I don't know when you saw him performing the responsibility or discharging the function of a speaker of recent. Since November, December of last year, up to present, he has not discharged the responsibility or function of a speaker. So how do you call him battle? There is a man who is removed, and not only removed, but he's replaced, and not only replaced, but he doesn't come to work. Speaker Emeritus has not come to work for more than 24 section days. And I would want to inform the public about Rule 20.1 and 20.2 of the House's standing rules. It says that a member.
Okay. So I want to hold on here a bit. We're going to go back to that clip at some point. But this is exactly what we saw today. And then on the flip side, immediately after, that interview, or let's say before that particular interview we just played, this is exactly what happened. This is what happened today. Immediately after that particular, before that.
So you have a chamber.
I need you TV.
Are you going to take this down?
Yeah.
Okay.
All the seats are on.
So this is the
Okay, so this is exactly what happened prior to that interview when the team went in and got the belongings of Honorable Kofa out. But according to the team, they did not come across any personal belonging of Councillor Kofa. What they saw were papers, portraits of him on the wall, and just a few of that. But I want us to make some analysis around this particular issue, because we all have been following this thing from the very day it started on the 17th of October in 2024, when a group of legislators or representatives stood right before the Capitol building, read a petition to say that they have no confidence in working with Honorable Kofa, Speaker Kofa. According to them, he had breached several provisions of their law. He was no longer working in line with the team there, and that based on several counts they presented at the time, they wanted him out as Speaker. Now, and we've been following from the very get-go the different happenings up until the time you saw the majority versus minority, up until where we are. The Capitol building got burned in the process, coming all the way to where we are, folks. Today, the folks have said that they wrote several communications to the speaker to get him out, to get him to clear the office. He didn't do that. He said he wouldn't respond to any of their communications again, and they were left with no option but to break through the doors because, according to them, he's been holding the work or the office of the speakership hostage. I mean, I want us to start a conversation from here, and then let's start with you, uh, AB, on this one, and then we're gonna come to Josh, and then Francis, and then Charles.
Nelson, you know, Speaker Kofa, he has turned to a toothless bulldog. He does not have teeth to bite. The speaker at the time that he was speaker, the committee that he set up, there was partiality that what brought the whole thing upside down today. But let's leave that. Was it right for comrades that James Collect for them to be able to carry hammer to bust the door, to be able to break through the door to enter? Was it right? I will tell you, yes, they were 100% correct. Somebody telling me that why they did not bring eviction notice from the court. Are you freaking killing me? There are cohorts there. People that were elected to be able to serve the Liberian people. Then you talk that the first branch of government there. Jeff Kofa did not go to court before he was installed into that office, before that office was given to him. So the people who wrote him 5 different communications. He refused, he responded to one and refused to answer. So all in all, let me say bravo to James Collect, because I know him very well. I know that brother.
But AB, don't you think this should have been an honorable way of doing this thing? Don't you think there should have been another approach, to handling this particular issue? Considering this man, serve as speaker, man. Don't he respond at one of the communications by saying the same way you took the speakership, go and take the office like that? But don't you think they should have done it in a more refined way, in an honorable way, so it doesn't appear like this on camera, like all of what we saw today?
They put it before him. Don't see James Collect, then there have been a lot of discussion that have been going on behind closed door. They put it before Jeff Kofa. They told him, come, let us be able to do this one honorably. He refused. He refused. It's not to say that the majority black did not go to him to tell him that, look, this year it is over. Come, let us be able to do it honorably, so you can be able to turn all the office material or all the office over to the new speaker. He refused. Let me tell you, Jeff Kofa looking at Toto. When you don't stretch the back, you will never put a hair out.
Okay. I want to hold you there. I want to hold you there a bit, and let's take Josh on this one. Then we're gonna take Francis next.
Look, Nelson, from the beginning, I have been against this whole majority bloc taking over, at the representatives, right? And the thing is clear. If these guys are saying Kofa was acting illegally, he embezzled money, his law firm was representing the legislature, these are crimes that can be used to expel him. But because they are all lies, they wouldn't want to remove him. Just like President Boaka, who, when you steal money or you squander the Liberian money, all he does is to suspend you. That's what they are doing, because this is, it's not right, Nelson. It doesn't make any sense. Even Colette, what he said there, I've heard that this guy is a lawyer. He went to the law school. It doesn't make any sense. The laws of Liberia, they made that law that before you evict anyone, there should be a court order. So that means they are above the law.
His argument on the other end is that they acted as a branch of government, and the eviction today was in line with plenary decision, so there was no need for a court order. Going to get a court order, I mean, his point is that going to get a court order would be like trying to get the approval of the judiciary to get the legislature to carry on her function, when in fact the legislature has her own rule, the standing rule that governs what they do there at that first branch of government.
Nelson, there is no rule at the legislature where you can evict somebody from an office. Let me show that rule. That's why they went to plenary to discuss it, to see whether they can do it. But there's no rule, Nelson. So the thing is, if there is no rule to do this thing, why you think they always run to the judiciary branch for solving their issues when they have legal issues? Why they go there? Because they are under the law. They made the law, but once the law is passed and signed by the president, it's for everyone in Liberia. You cannot have a law and then bypass it and say, oh, because we are the lawmaker, so we can make our own rule. The same way they had to tell in, what they are doing, Nelson. It doesn't make any sense. So you cannot evict anyone. If that is an eviction, if you read the definition of an eviction, it has to come with a court order. You can't just go to somebody's house and say leave. So now, eviction, the meaning of eviction has to be.
There was another aspect where they are citing issues like not much of the personal belonging of Honorable Kofa being in the office when they broke through. Aside from portraits of his, photos, and just a few papers, a bulk of the major things were removed even before they got there. Josh, why do you think this? Why do you think this was the case? Do you think that even Honorable Kofa was prepared for this? He expected this, and because of that, they did what they could ahead of time to get some of the things out before the action today from the House of Representatives.
Now, I cannot definitively say he was ready for it, but I can say from the balance of what's happened, right? The balance of probability, I can say yes, of course, because he knows that these guys are lawless. This guy can do anything for power in that place. So he was ready, I'm sure. But guess what? I think the best thing to have done was to expel him, because you say everything that accused of this guy is criminal. They should expel him, but no, they don't want to expel him because the only thing they want is the power, Nelson. They want committees to get on committees. Collect them. All they want is power and money, because money comes with the power. Once you get any committee, you get money. Add money on your money. That's all you guys want. So Nelson, these guys are not doing anything for our country. They are not in the interest of any Liberian. They are in the interest of themselves, Nelson. Let me tell you, when they say personal effect, Nelson, my photograph is my personal effect. My books that I take in there, they're my personal effect. Who takes their clothes in their office? Who takes their television to their office? No one does that. What you take to your office is those things that represent you, that you are taking this place over. That means your markings, your photographs on the wall, your maybe your books your personal books that you brought. All those things. I started taking the books in there. So I don't know why the guy thinks that those things were not personal effect. I don't know that the city he was taking to girl get mattress in there with bed and maybe a food store and cooking utensils and other things in there. That what he was thinking about. No, an office space is for books, computers, and other things, Nelson. So I don't know. It doesn't make any sense why this guy must think that personal effect means cooking utensils or other things have to be there. The man photographs his books, his chairs, or that maybe he likes certain rocking chair that he bought for himself. He has to eat there, or anything that has to do with office.
The action, according to them, we serve so many communications, we're not getting the kind of result. We're not getting the kind of response. The speaker have said that he's not going to respond to the communications anymore. The last response was, take the office the same way you took the speakership. George, do you think that the response matched the action we saw today? Was it in
clearly? So you see, people justify and say, "Oh, the poor majority, they can come and take what they want." You know what I mean? Do this what they want. Nelson, just by forcibly opening that door, it's just how they forcibly took away illegally the speakership. So guess what? They fell exactly in a trap because he said, take this office like you took the speakership. If they were going to use another means, like going to the court and getting court eviction,
what do you think was the other means? What do you think was the other means they would have used? Now, because in everything we're talking about here, Josh, the court has said that, not saying it verbally, but the actions from the court have indicated to some extent that the court doesn't want to get mixed with the political, stuff happening at the first branch of government. The court wants the first branch of government to handle her issue. I mean, so aside from what they did today, what do you think would have been a better alternative with respect to clearing the office for the speaker elected by majority lawmakers to take on the work? What do you think would have been a better alternative?
Look, Nelson, from the beginning of this whole fragile, right, we realized that there was accusation that money were floating around, right, for people to get on that majority block list, you know what I mean, to sign off to get speaker out. And lastly, we heard also that some money were moved to the judicial branch, right, to support their idea of the removal.
You said what?
There was allegation in the news, Nelson. I think you guys carry it as well, that money was taken to the judiciary branch to have a smooth landing for their. So here's the thing. You're not going to go there, but here's what I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted by the judiciary branch. Look, Nelson, the judiciary branch is a branch of the government that holds the country together. That means, Nelson, if you wrong me, if I take you there, I should have redress. But Nelson, if you wrong me, if I go there, if can I get redress, you know what's going to happen? I will have to use the 1 year to go to you, right? So that's why that branch supposed to be apolitical, right? So for them to interpret the law does not mean they are being political. But because they don't want to interpret the law, they want to create chaos in the country. That's why they said they don't want to get into politics. The law is the law. The law is not politics. Say what the law says. But these guys are saying they're hiding behind the aspect of law and politics. No, Nelson, you and myself can be in a political fight. When we go there, they will interpret the law that that relates to our fight. And that law will exonerate you or it will implicate you, right? But these guys, they don't want to do that because they know that they got something given to them to keep them quiet, and then one of them come on and say other nonsense. You are ridiculous.
You cannot uprightly accuse the judiciary,
from their action, from their action, you can infer that these guys got money to do what they are doing. Because you cannot keep quiet, do something and say it's political.
Here's the thing, Josh. On a platform like this, if you want to drag the judiciary in something, it must be something you have proof to. All right?
Okay, so Nelson, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question, Nelson?
Let me just say on this one.
Go ahead.
To say that
go sleep, my man.
To say that the judiciary is doing this because they got money, especially when there's no proof, then it becomes an issue.
Then I make a statement about it.
Government, especially when you don't have proof, Josh. I mean, that's a great.
Nelson,
but next time I will ask you for you to be able to ask Brother Josh, let you retract his statement.
Nelson, let me just go ahead. This guy want to
just freedom. Let's get Francis to come.
Yeah. So Nelson, I am saying this not because I feel like implicating our judicial system, right? Or making them to be as worthless as people perceive them to be. But Nelson, what I'm saying is that if you cannot interpret your own ruling, and you said by interpreting your own ruling is political, it makes no sense to anyone, Nelson. And
Okay.
then one of them come out and say other things.
Let me
Nelson,
hold
these
you there.
people are
Let
the
me hold
one
you there.
creating the chaos in our country. And guess what? If any chaos erupt in our country, they are not going free. Then I just know that they'll be implicated. Thank you.
Look, you see, I'm trying to find a way to put this, but Josh, and to everyone, our judiciary is a reputable branch of government. There comes a time, especially when you find yourself in that position, there comes a time when even the decision-making process is a very tough one. There comes a time when you find yourself between the scissors, and it's just that way. And sometimes you have to use logic and everything, reasoning, common sense, put everything together, to get your way around certain things. I think I would like to stop there. But for instance, you can go ahead. Your take on this issue.
Yeah, I'm getting bored of you and George soliloquy, and I just go the whole show. But anyway, I would like to clear two things first before I even get on this topic. One, our brother John want to talk about the whole Armed Forces Day thing. And John said he was 86 years old. Joseph Parker.
No, we're going to go to that. We're going to go there. For instance,
I already put it out there, so I want to clarify before I get into the thing.
That was just for opening, Francis. That was just for opening.
It was just our topic, no problem. Let me get to this one because he and Charles said some things I want to correct. But however, when this whole speaker saga started, it was a big mess. I don't like the way they went about the process. Right now, I don't even think Kova is removed, but they have put another speaker in place. But when we're talking about this whole eviction process, people talking to go to court, this is not a civil case. This is not no landlord evicting his or her tenants. Where you gotta go and get a court order, get the sheriff's department to come with you. My brother Lila took the word from my mouth. That office belongs to the Liberian people. It's not Speaker Kofa's personal office or let us say Grand Crew personal office. If you have a Grand Crew personal office, it belongs to the people of Grand Crew, and not all people of Grand Crew for them will vote for him to be representative in the first place. So they have nothing to do by going to the court to get a court order to come and affect what happening in the legislature. And when we talk about they had issue they ran to the court. What the process they were going through, Speaker Kova fell injured. He took them to court. You have to go to the court to interpret the law. But how they govern themselves in the house has nothing to do with the judiciary. You can't go tell and say, "Oh, I want to evict somebody." They're not a landlord. That's the first thing they should remember. I don't like the way that they remove your speaker. It's bad for Liberia, but it has nothing to do with going to court. And it very same sedition them that are saying George Wheeler is saying the court is pretty much essentially saying the court is siding with the majority bloc. They were the same people running around here talking about the court did not endorse or probably set in for lack of better word with President Barker. They did not attend the State of the Nation address. So what do you guys want? You got to pick a side. You said the court was angry at President Barker for the way he handled the situation. That's why they did not attend the SOTA. But now you're saying the court took money. You see, that's the problem with Liberia. People get jump and saying, "Yeah, I was saying to them, let me say something. George, we are when you're in office. He said he was going to give people money to give to people money to give it to the court today. That's what happening now. And I say my own thing too. Say thought are free. Anybody can kind of just levy allegation without any evidence. It's ridiculous. You keep sitting on the platform just saying stuff. Oh, they say they took money from somewhere. They say they were giving money. All the laws that go around, they say. Where is the evidence? Where's the evidence? Y'all said judge the court siding with the majority black. Y'all said the court was against President Parker. They didn't show the soda. So what is it? What is it? So that whole thing over there, when they talk about personal effect, most of during the process was there that camera in the building when they were going to open the door? Camera followed them throughout the process. It's documented. And you talk about his pictures in there. If they ask you to come and remove your things and you don't remove it, they will remove it for you.
But Francis, don't you think there would have been a better alternative, a better way of doing this thing other than what was done today? Do you think so?
Nelson, let me make it clear again. I do not like the whole process, the way the whole thing started with, and how it go about putting Richard Cohen office. I think Richard Cohen is just power hungry or something. I don't like the way Frederico Power remove as speaker. But now the issue here is the topic at hand. Removing him, his personal effect from that office. The office doesn't belong to him. He's not paying rent in that office. The office belongs to the Liberian people. So if you do not come and remove your things, when you are not carry out the function of that office anymore, and you do not come and remove your things, regardless of how you feel about what's going on, the next speaker has to take over, be it legitimate or not. If you are legitimately removed or not, the next speaker has to use that office, and your things will be removed. They're not going to tell you to stop to sign paper and send the sheriff to kind of remove your things. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. So they need to stop that stuff.
No, for instance, there are concerns about the salaries as well. The folks are saying on the other hand that he and a few other lawmakers have not been going to work, and so according to their rule, action will have to be taken. There are 7 people already under suspension. No one has been expelled so far. What do you think we're going to see in the coming days? The likes of Honorable Musa Hassan Bilete have threatened illegal action against Representative James Collier on the other end. That look, we're going to take you to court. We, the rule of Law Caucus, are going to file a lawsuit against you for breaking through the speaker office and getting his things out. Do you think this lawsuit, given everything that we've heard from the other side, do you think this lawsuit is going to hold water in the first place? Is it going to be a lawsuit against a single Representative James Collier, or is it a lawsuit against the House of Representatives, the plenary decision that resulted to the action we saw today? I mean, what do you make of the lawsuit on the other hand?
First of all, Nelson, you just said the lawsuit Musa Bede saying we fight against James Collier. Can I just tell you that Musa Bede is trying to look for I mean, he is nationally recognized, but he just launched his party, so he want to make some noise to garner more eyes on him, because it doesn't make any sense. They said plenary made a decision for them to move the things from the office, and you talk about suing one person. First of all, you're suing the house. You don't sue one person. James Collier, the plenary took a decision. So it still doesn't make any sense. Like I said, he trying to flex muscle. And you talk about pay, right? The guy says at the end of the tape, when you call it, he said, oh, when I walk through, all the air conditioning on. Office that nobody occupying for some time now. The air conditioner just running. All I bring put them over there. They're sweating bullets. They don't have enough. They don't have any seat to run that fan. But that office, cool, like Alaska. You see, you got people. They talk about in the city. He said if it was a minister, would have called for them to be arrested if they are not showing up to work, right? But we know it's slightly different when it comes to the house. to lawmakers. These people are elected officials. There are processes that are put in place to remove one of your colleagues. But the fact that they are still getting paid, but if he's getting paid, like he said, if Fanati Kofa was getting paid, and then his staffers were not getting paid, what sense does that make? You see, so they don't hold each other accountable. They just make lip service. They say things. All those people are suspended. Nothing will happen to them. Nothing will happen to them. If that was a serious country, first of all, will not be where we are today. Because what started this whole thing was wrong. They went about it the wrong way, the way they tried, the way they moved for the Kofa. So now they have all piled up to now suspending 7 people that were elected by thousands of people to represent them. They will not move any of those people because those guys are not serious. They don't know what they are doing.
I want to hold you there, Francis. Thanks a lot. Let's take Charles on this one. Sandy, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on. Charles, go ahead.
Yes. So that's saying
the eviction today, the lawsuit, the issues raised with respect to lawmakers still taking salaries and not going to work. And let's hear your take.
So nothing. I'm going to start this discussion with this, right? What is not done correctly is not done at all. Listen, nothing. These people raise up an allegation against Speaker Fanati Kofa that the man is corrupt. The man invests a lot of money. He used his private company, a law firm, to defend some entities in Liberia. All of these things. I just want to look at it from the corruption part of it. If you are taking a man for corruption and you have a new speaker who just passed a bill, the president signed, they passed a bill that has too many irregularities within a bill as it relates to
irregularities in which bill?
In this gun bill that this speaker that we're talking about passed. Yes.
Which bill now?
The bill that just passed by Speaker, the quote-unquote majority speaker. They passed a bill. The bill that was passed, there are a lot of irregularity into it as it relates to monetary kind of process. One.
Okay, go ahead, but I really don't know the bill you're talking about. Are you talking about the budget?
Sorry, the budget. Yeah, you got me right. Sorry, my fault. The budget. There are a lot of irregularity in it, and if you are telling me that you're taking this man from there because of corruption, then we should be asking you, what is your stand as it relates to this gun budget that was passed?
Okay, what are some of the irregularities?
One, you cannot have just 5% in government making close to $15 million, where you have 15 counties taking $9 million for the health sector. It is completely wrong in our society. So who are you actually serving? Are you serving the people or are you serving yourself? That's one issue. But I just forget about that in a little bit. My concern has to do with the quote unquote James Colette. I mean, I shouldn't call it James Colette, but he said rules and order, quote unquote rules and order man, James Colette. James Colette, all I can see in him and see in the quote unquote Richard Kuhn is power greed. They are all greeded, hungry, and thirsty for power. They are all of them.
Yeah, but why do you think so?
And James Colette, I'm disappointed in James Colette. I've been knowing James Colette for a little bit of time before coming to the US. I'm disappointed in him. He's one person who, oh yes, when we get there, we'll do this. And at this point, he's that corrupt. It's sad. It's very sad.
So how is he? I want us to get. I want us to grab the issues and discuss the issue. Forget the man. Forget So I want us to grab the issues. Let's go into the issues. Let's dive into the issues. And that's exactly what I want.
Nothing for a Colette, James Colette. sign on a paper, receive money to remove the speaker, a legitimate speaker that they all voted for. That is corruption. That is deception to the Liberian people. Apart from that, he didn't just do that because he wanted to do it. He did it because of money. And everything he's doing is because of money and power. He's not doing it because he loved the Liberian people. No, everything that he's doing over there is completely against the law, the organic law of our country. And
okay, let's go to the eviction exercise.
And today he talked about in his interview, he spoke about the rules. If you have these rules, why didn't you follow the rules to remove the speaker? And you talk about rules. You talk about rules, following rules now. When are you started following rules? It's today you won't follow rules because you have to remove the speaker or to take his things out of his office. That today you want to follow rules.
The group are saying the group are saying, the lawmakers are saying, they wrote Honorable Kofa numerous times. Okay, you're no longer in the speakership position. You're no longer doing the Liberian people's job. For over 3 months, you are unable to get a quorum to conduct a single session to do the Liberian people's business. You've lost the speakership. What we want you to do is to turn the office over. They said they addressed about 5 communications to him, and he referred them to taking the speaker, the office, the same way they took the speakership. He said that was his last time, according to them. That was the last time ever responding to any communication from that body. I mean, what do you think they should have done following all the communications they addressed to Honorable Kofa? What do you think they should have done?
Do you think if they were done the right way, Speaker Kofa are going to be sending that kind of message?
And what do you think was the right way?
To follow the right procedure to remove him.
And what was the right procedure that was not followed?
By their law, they have laws that they're supposed to follow according to their rules that is supposed to follow the Constitution that gave them the authority that, okay, yes, you can remove a speaker based on X, Y, and Z. Provide the facts, provide the evidence, and remove him. You think Speaker Kofa are going to be arguing, saying, no, you don't send me that.
I agree with you with the process, but for the sake of our audience, what are the specific portions of the procedures that they did not follow that makes the entire process to be illegal?
The Supreme Court came out with a ruling. After all of these things were going around when they went there, the Supreme Court came out with a ruling. And I heard my brother saying the executive have nothing to do with it, but it was the executive that interpreted the ruling that they started running with that put Richard Kuna as speaker. And so if that is the case, why now you're talking about following those things? Why are you saying it now? If you know fully well that you have been very, very, very much, you deny all of these things, you violated all of those things, now you want to follow it now, it's late. And you want Speaker Kofa to tell you, say, yes, go ahead and remove my team from the office? Come on, guys. It's completely unfair to him. It's unfair to him. And so if I were the one, that's the same decision I want to take. Yes, go ahead and do whatever you want to do.
There are some of those people on the other side who think that Honorable Kofa or Speaker Kofa was being treated unfairly. Why there are others who think that Honorable Kofa held the country hostage. He held the speakership position or the office of the speakership hostage, giving everything we've seen and all of that. What do you think?
Prior to then coming up with this coup to get him out, was Speaker Kofa active or not active?
Now I'm asking, what do you think?
No. Prior to then having this entire coup, when the president took him out of the country, they planned the coup and they took him out.
You know, obviously, I mean, there were sessions going on. You know that.
Yeah, prior to that, there was section going on. He was presiding over section. He was doing everything correctly. But because they plotted against him to get him out. Nothing. Sometimes these things when we discuss, they put it in your own shoes. Put it in your own situation. If you are the one, how will you
the issues are not about me.
No. I'm not discussing you in person. I'm discussing everybody. If it were you as a person, people plotted against you, knowing the fact that they didn't doing the thing the right way. And we just on the surface, right? But there are deep conversation between these people that we don't know about. And you think Fanatic Cover don't know about these things? That's the reason why Fanatic Cover is so defensive, because he knows exactly what is going on.
Thanks a lot, Charles. Let me hold you there and welcome Amy to the show. Let's bring our brother Cindy on. Cindy, you follow the happenings today, and let's hear your take. The eviction of Speaker Kofa from the Speakership office today, the lawsuit, as stated by Representative Musa Hassan Bilete. He said he's going to file a lawsuit against Representative James Colette for breaking through on the Kofa's office. They, from the rule of Law Caucus, they will not tolerate that. And of course, there are concerns that the speaker, Honorable Kofa, has not been going to work, but he's been taking pay, and he's violating the laws. He's getting paid, but he's not doing the Liberian people's job. I mean, all these issues, I just want us to respond to it at once. Then we're going to make a transition later. Go ahead.
Nelson and my dear friends, it's good to be here with you. Before I start off on this topic, I want to publicly address some of the things that happened on the show last night, and I want to be man enough to say that I did step a little low on my brother AB, and I do apologize for that. We'll focus on the issue, and we will not be personal to one another. But let me get to the issue. Article 28 of the Liberia Constitution states that no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, security of the person, property, privilege, or any other right except as the outcome of a hearing judgment consistent with the provision laid down in this Constitution and in accordance with the due process of law. This provision, Nelson, basically implies that any eviction must result from a legal process that includes a hearing and judgment by a committee.
Maybe we need to go back to the article of the Constitution you're reading.
I see some people shaking their head. They haven't even read the Constitution, but they're shaking their head already.
It's Josh. I saw George nodding his head.
I read it. That's what my point about. And he had to get, because
you know what I mean.
Article what? No, come back with the article.
They had their time. I was drinking my tea. I didn't talk. Now they're coming to disrupt me.
Article what?
Article 28.
Nobody was talking. We just showed our hair.
Constitution. Article 28 of the Liberia Constitution.
Okay.
My brother have a whole copy of the Constitution. By the way, I got to New Jersey. We'll go to school for that one. You want to put it up, Nelson, or I should continue?
Yeah, I want to get it up.
Okay.
No person shall be deprived. Is that it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No person shall be deprived. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you can go ahead as I have this here.
Yes,
Let me see.
as you put it up, what that is saying basically, the article there did not clearly say, right, that there should be a court issue eviction notice. It mandates, though, that the eviction adheres to a due process, which customarily, Nelson, will involve judiciary proceedings. That means there must be a hearing. Okay? Now, in the absence of that, the House of Representative laws, their internal laws, do not supersede the Liberia Constitution. Let us get it right. The House of Representatives internal law that they made among themselves to guide their functions cannot supersede the Liberia Constitution. So James Colette, Nelson, big brother, or his uncle cannot come to us and say, let me talk about let me talk about
Go ahead.
Colette cannot come here and say because the House agree to remove his things, then we should know the legality, the legal process that must be established, which is an eviction order from the court, right? So that's wrong. Look, Nelson, we are running a country. We say that we are a democratic country.
Sorry, I want to interrupt you.
Go
Sandy,
ahead.
let me interrupt you there. No person shall be deprived of life, liberty, security of the person, property, privileges, or any other right except as the outcome of a hearing, judgment consistent with the provisions laid down in this Constitution and in accordance with due process of law. How does this relate to the evasion exercise, Cindy?
It is.
Where do we connect this provision of the Constitution with the evasion exercise and what's happening at the House of Representatives?
So that this provision, Nelson, implies that any evasion must result from the legal process. Yes, that's the interpretation of this position. That it must involve a legal process that include a fair hearing. A fair hearing and a judgment must be made from a competent authority, which is in this case the judiciary branch. Which is
you know, maybe we want to read this thing and read it and read it and read it and read it over and over and again.
He's being deprived.
He's being deprived of what, Cindy?
That's right.
He's being deprived of what? Now, this is what it says. No person shall be deprived of life, number one. Right. Liberty, number two. Security of the person, number three. Property.
Due process. There was no due process, Nelson.
Let's take this one step at a time. No person shall be deprived of life. Did the process or did the team deprive Councilor Kofa of life? No.
By not following.
No, I'm coming. Deprived did they deprive him of his liberty? Did they deprive him of the security?
Yes.
Did they deprive him of his property?
Yes, they did.
Did they deprive him of the privilege or any right?
Right.
Constitutional right? Mm-hmm. No.
Keep reading.
Okay, so
except as the outcome.
As the outcome of a hearing, judgment, consistent with the provisions laid down in this Constitution and in accordance with due process of law.
Thank you. Was he giving?
Yeah, why do we connect this?
Was he giving due process? Was there any hearing? A hearing of judgment? Was there any hearing of judgment? Did they go to court? Did the majority bloc go to court to seek hearing, to say this guy don't want to leave this office? We are here to complain to the court. We need a hearing to be held. We need a judgment to be passed so we can remove him. Nelson, move the thing from here.
I'm going to play the devil's advocate a little bit here.
Your uncle led this process. Your uncle led this.
No. Come on, man. Come on.
Move the thing from the screen, please.
Don't try to find that connect.
Your uncle James Colette led this process.
I have never known Representative James Colette till recently when he got involved with everything with the Capitol Hill. But this is the thing. It's about Liberia, and I know you're not going to use that strategy to put me on the defense if you know it wouldn't happen. But the folks on the other side have said that there were several communications. They set up a committee, invited Honorable Speaker Kofa to be heard. According to them, he did not recognize the committee that was set up to have him to accord him due process. He didn't honor the committee. And so based on everything that happened in multiple communications, the deadline elapsed about twice, then they decided to proceed, to move to the next level, which was then to go to the plenary and read their resolution, get the numbers, and removed him. Now, going back to this provision you just made us to pull up, Sandy. Again, for the sake of our audience, I'm asking you, where do we connect this?
Nothing. The provision is clear. The provision is clear.
Francis,
Unfortunately,
Francis
says, hold on, hold your horses. It's okay. The provision is very clear, Nelson. The provision talks about due process. It talks about having a fair hearing and a judgment to be passed. The provision is clear. The provision there, basically, to summarize, it says that the removal of Speaker Foinati Kofa, which did not involve a legal hearing, a fair hearing, removing him from an official space without legal procedures, is wrong. It's unconstitutional. Nelson, I will say it again. The House rules do not supersede the Liberian Constitution. We are a country of law. We are supposed to be a country of law. And if we are a country of law, then the Constitution should be upheld in every given time. And Article 28 just clearly tells you that without a fair hearing, those guys are wrong. But Nelson, we pretend to be a democratic country. But I have come to the conclusion that at this point, Liberia is not a democratic nation. Liberia is being heavily ruled by the executive branch of government. The president is an indirect king, superpower, the utmost ruler that controls everything. There is no check and balances. Whatever the president wants, he gets. Whether it goes against the Constitution or not. And that is wrong.
Thank you.
So to our brother, Foinati Kofa, just let this thing go. The bad precedent has been set. The bad precedent has been set. But we will fight against these bad precedents. We, the young people, have the responsibility to transform the negative image that is being created in our country.
Thank you, Sandy.
So-called majestic black is on the wrong side.
Thank you. I know Sandy wants to join his lawmaker, Representative DB, who was on the show here the other night. You know, and when Sandy said we will fight against this, that's what Sandy meant. You know,
we are fighting against your uncle for them, but I'm not joining the B. I'm not joining the B.
But let's hear you, Francis. Take 20 seconds quickly, then we'll take Emmy.
Yeah, my brother Sandy and everybody support his interpretation of the Constitution. I'm not a constitutional scholar, but that interpretation is completely out of place. I do not support the way the illegal remove for the Kofa. Let me just put it out there first. And we should not, like you said, just let it be. People should continue to fight for the right thing to be in Liberia. Yes, for that Article 28 that you just read, Nelson, doesn't apply in this case. But Kofa is not a tenant in somebody's house. Why you need to go to court for that? But Kofa did not lose his job. He's still a lawmaker. He lost a position that he held as a speaker. That office belongs to the Liberian people.
The people that article up again, and that
Francis
the
may not tenant, but
no. I'm not saying why it said tenant.
So don't say something that is not in the Constitution.
No, but you're saying that, okay, Article 20. It says no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, security of the person, property, privilege, or any other right except as the outcome of a hearing judgment consistent with the provision laid down in the Constitution in accordance with the due process of law. Okay, we're not going to read the whole thing. Nelson, move that thing. We are talking about, there are three branches of government. The legislature, the executive, and judiciary. The legislature branch has its own function. It is governed by, I believe, what's called plenary. They make that decision. Nobody saying the legislature is above the Constitution. But what happened over there? While we may sit and say that they didn't go about it the right way, when we look at the action that happened today, Funadi Kofa was in no way injured. He's still collecting his paycheck. He's still at work. And he was the fact that he's not carrying out the function of the speaker, and he has not even been going to work. And they put a new speaker, be it legal or illegally, that office belongs to the Speaker of Liberia. And right now, whether you like it or not, who is the Speaker of the Republic of Liberia? It's Richard Coon. So that office belongs to Richard Coon. So if he did not go involuntarily to remove his things from the office, his things will be removed for him like it was done today. So
okay, let me hold you there. Thanks a lot, Francis. Thank you. Emmy, are you with us? You want to come in, or we take Fambule? Yeah, Fambule, you want to go ahead. Let's hear you.
Look, Nelson, gentlemen, sometimes I try as much as possible not to get involved in what I refer to as paracetamol argument, because what we just read on the screen is just something that's going to hurt our head. In the end, somebody going to send us to the pharmacy to get Tylenol. We have said this over and over and again. Funati has been removed, and there's no way coming back. The same majority who voted for him, the same majority said time to go. He said, let him go and work for his people. He is a representative. He got so many people he got to work for. So I don't even get it that we're going to come here and use all our energy to be talking about somebody who has already been booted out. This case has been settled. We can go up, we come down. Any way you twist it, any way you want to specify this, it will not help him. Let he just accept the result, as other people said. Let he accept it and move on. His district needs him. Let he go there and complete his term. He has 5 more years to go. He got 5 years to go. Let he go there. With all the fight that was going on and the scraping of all those benefits, he was still receiving a pay, and he just returned back to the country all the time. So you expect a single person to hold the office of the speaker hostage? At least the sergeant of arms is well equipped and he knows the rules of the house. We'll send him there and escort him.
What do you make of the statement from the Rule of Law Caucus when they said they're going to file a lawsuit against the representative who was at the forefront of the entire eviction exercise today? Representative Musa Hassan Bility and the folks on the Rule of Law Caucus are threatening a lawsuit.
Nelson, you already know that is a bluff. And the reason why Honorable Musa Bility is in front of this, we all know the sinister agenda that he has. Musa Hassan Bility has said it publicly, and he's not hiding from anybody anymore that he has millions of dollars if folks can push the agenda. If Funati is removed, or if Funati does not succeed in this fight, he should be the alternative. He got millions of dollars to share around people who will support his agenda. We already know. So if he coming out now to be chair of which rule of law? Which rule of law exactly? Which law has he made in the short period of time? Quickly, he has become a rule of law caucus. So I know that's a bluff. He can go ahead and do it. I mean, constitutionally, nobody stopped anybody from going to the court. The court is there to interpret things. So they will go there and interpret it the way they want to interpret it. Musa got money, so he's using his money now and he thinks he can get away with anything, and he come and have honor or canopy called rule of law. That's not going to work, Nelson. The Liberian people already know that what was going on over there, and the majority has already resolved. And let us move the country forward. That's the most important thing. Nobody going to revert this particular decision that already been taken. Musa can spend all his money. He can do all of the threat or go to the court as many times as he wants to. It is his right. But what's going to happen is that that office must be vacated, and the current speaker must go in that office and continue to bring people work. That's it. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Anthony. You want to come in?
Yeah, muted, my brother.
Anthony, you are muted.
Yeah, muted.
You.
Oh, sorry.
Everything you said,
Yeah, I
was
said if you
free.
can put up Article 28 just for 10 seconds. I just want to make reference to certain thing. You can take it down. So here's the thing. When a constitutional provision is mentioned, it lists a couple of things. Any of those categories that fall within your condition, that's why I apply. I heard Nelson talking about, oh, the man's life was not threatened. They say if you are deprived, and they start listing things, right? It doesn't mean that everything that is listed applies to him. Whichever applies to him in that particular given circumstances is what the law holds. You understand? So yes, his life was not threatened, but he was deprived. His property was invaded, right? They went to the office when you're not there and touched his personal belongings, right? So again, the way law is written, it's not written for one person, it's written for every person in every circumstances. Whichever applies in that particular circumstances, that's what the lawyer or the defense team gonna go for, right? That's how law works. So when a person, I heard my dear brother Francis talking about he's not a tenant. Francis, because he was elected Speaker of the House, that office was given to him. The position, the office of the speakership becomes a place that he does, that he worked from. And if he was illegally removed, they cannot illegally also remove his things, right? So currently, he's still the legitimate Speaker of the House. That's why you found, the president of Sierra Leone, Mada Bill today, addressing the armed forces of Liberia, did not even address Richard Coon.
Exactly.
He did not.
Exactly. He did not.
A former brigadier general who came today to this country to give, to identify with the military, did not recognize Richard Coon. Many other instances have happened. Richard Coon have not been recognized. The Supreme Court Associate Bench, the Associate Justices, they also boycotted the national address that every government official is supposed to attend. That is mandated by our Constitution. They boycotted it because of the same Richard Coon circumstances. Let us stop playing politics here, family and the rest of the other people. Look, what it is today, it is what it is. The law is the law, and this man is still the legitimate Speaker of the House of Representatives. He was not removed with the due process. They did not use the 49 required number per the Constitution to remove him. They did not have the number to remove him. They was, packed in a hotel for over 60 days. So we all know the story.
I want to go back a little. When you talk about the 49, what do you make of the 51 signatures on the other end that were?
Nelson, we all know that 51 signature. We have individual who rescinded that decision at the time. Nelson, the law did not say that signature. The law said you must have 49 votes. Listen, the Constitution says to elect the Speaker, you need 37%. To remove the Speaker, you need 49. To elect the Speaker, you need 37%. To remove the Speaker from office, you need 49%. At the time they removed the Speaker, they did not have 49. If they have 49, Fonati will not be around here today. He will be out of that place. He knows better. They didn't say no. What they did, they didn't do it right. Today they asked that the colleague guy, he said, oh, but the Fonati Kofa go to Koto in the office, like some elementary student. They may not have to go to court to go in the office, but if you have to remove him the way you remove him, then you need a warrant. A warrant from a judge to remove him from that office. That's what you need. But because you didn't have a warrant, you violated his right again. You run against the law again. I mean, this guy called us a lawmaker, they can't play by the law. That constitution, that's why I said Article 2. No statute, no resolution, no act supersedes the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia.
Yeah.
None of those things. The Constitution is the supreme law of the land. Not an act, not a resolution, not a statute, not even an executive order from the president.
Thank you.
So until people realize these things, they will continue making the same mistake. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks a lot. Just before we bring Emmett in, I want us to go back to this one here. Let's bring just a portion of this. Okay, so all right, so let's have a portion of this one.
To come to work more than 2 weeks without an exclusive plenary, said member has committed an offense that is punishable. So I just want the public to also understand that not only Speaker Emeritus, but other colleagues who feel that they want to stay home, not to come to work, but every month go to the bank and take their salary, I think it's unjust to Liberian people. So I want to use this meeting to give them a wake-up call that they can put Liberia first and find reason to come to work. If you say you don't want to come to work, is it not prudent enough to help us not to take a salary? But you can't be taking salary, you don't justify, you don't deserve it, you don't work for it. Who are you then? Then you call yourself rule of law caucus? You are the first violator of the rule of law. Yes.
Yeah,
In November, you wrote Councillor Kofa asking him to give the list of his staffers so that they can take pay for December and months ensuing. Has he, furnished you with the listing of his staffers since he is taking pay also?
He's taking pay. That's why I'm wondering why would Speaker Emeritus want to be taking pay? Staff are not taking pay. I'm wondering why. But sometimes again, I wonder that maybe they know what they are on. But if I'm taking pay and my staff are not taking pay, then I've been wicked to my staff. Mainly in the wake of the season festival, Christmas King and Pass, because of inability to submit his assistant staff, they didn't take pay. New York King and Pass, they didn't take pay. Even as of now, he has not submitted a name. But we're interested to know that he's taking his benefit as a lawmaker. So that's one thing I'm still wondering. He no longer been paid as speaker, he now paid as representative. And he still take the immunity of a representative. So why would he not want to submit the names of his staff?
If you talk about immunity, you talk about gasoline, you talk about all
I said to you, the speaker is receiving his immunity. That's all I can say to that. I want you to ask the speaker as to whether he did not take pay for the month of December. The former speaker or the speaker emeritus.
Well, this is where we are, and I think we're going to transition. We're going to transition.
The immunity. He couldn't speak about the gasoline. He called it out.
The man still calling the man speaker.
The man said,
then he come out and say,
he say Representative Kofa, he says the speaker.
He still calling the man speaker, then he come out and check his head.
That doesn't mean anything.
Mama, you say you can make mistake. Oh,
look, Famula, let me get this.
Famula, are you serious here to be supporting this kind of illegal things? Are you ready?
But Famula, they been talking about rule of law.
This whole thing.
Please take 30 seconds as we try to conclude quickly.
A lot of different things.
How many to create a room to transition? I'm getting some.
Can I get at least 10 seconds, please?
My brother Anthony said a whole bunch of nothing. Nobody's, at least me, I'm not going to say nobody. At least for me, I speak for myself. I'm not supporting the way Funadikova was removed. This should not be happening in our country. The fact that it's happening, it has already happened. He has been removed. Rachel Kuhn signed the budget. I think it's not good for our country that other dignitaries don't recognize, if in the case don't recognize our sitting speaker. That's a shame to our country. And we brought that on ourselves. But we are talking about the topic at hand. So I need to start going to Bapolu and Riverside and River G and not addressing the actual issue. The issue is the eviction. The issue is the eviction.
That led to the eviction. That the illegal act led to the eviction.
No.
Of course,
the
yes.
issue is about the removal of his things from the office of the speaker. So you guys can want to play play yourself the presso all you want, play puzzle pieces together all you want. It has nothing to do with the office of the speaker. And the fact that he's not the speaker, and like the representative just said, he's taking a salary as a lawmaker, not as a representative, not as a speaker. So he's accepting the salary as a representative. So you already accept the fact that he's no longer the speaker.
We don't know that yet. Like once that statement
I'm speaking based on what the representative said. Everything you say here, do you have evidence to back it? No, you don't. So I'm speaking based on what the representative said. So the fact that he's accepting salary according to the representative that as a representative, not as a speaker, he's no longer the speaker. So why can't he just remove his seat in office? But he's there removing the way you remove me. Illegally, right? Okay.
Why you want
to first remove his things to make way for the sitting speaker to take his office? That belongs to the Speaker of the Republic of Liberia. The Liberian people own that office, not Grand Crew and not
you're not taking all the time. Why you want to listen? Why you want to listen to
I think you're not doing justice to the conversation.
You guys will have to do justice to the conversation. Just take 30 seconds quickly. Let's not talk about each other, guys.
Francis, I just have a simple question. Why now you want to listen to what James Collier is saying, right? But it was the same James Collier, you are validating what James Collier said, but it was the same James Collier that refused or defined ultra-viral as legal actions.
Yep.
Today, they are taking that. And you yet on this platform, can you and formula define what is ultra-viral for us? Can you guys define it?
You see the problem with argument.
Let the man take it 30 seconds, Francis, please.
Oh, he asked me a question.
30 seconds. I mean, no, that formula define ultra-virus. Formula define it.
Oh, you're talking about Francis now? Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot for so formula. Take your 30 seconds
too.
All right, thank you very much. So
giving 30 seconds, I got the but don't worry.
The issue is not central around the legal term ultra-virus. That particular word, the Supreme Court will ask through a bill of information to interpret, to tell the Liberian people what it means, but it remains tight-lipped. Until after the action had already been taken, that ultra-virus was not validating that Fonanti was right. It was not also validating that the majority was right.
Just define it for us.
I'm not a legal person, but from the
you believe
guys, Cindy, you want to take your 30 seconds quickly?
I'm not taking my 30 seconds, Nancy. You saw how the man jump in. I was trying to explain it.
You respond that. You use your 30 seconds to respond to him.
No, I'm not going to answer the way he want me to answer. There's not a question game.
Yeah, but
okay,
you have 30 seconds. You chose to respond to the man. What kind of thing is that?
No, but he asked a direct question to me, so let me take my 30 seconds. So let us now hold and pull this thing. Fonati Kofa, Honorable Kofa, is taking his benefits and receiving his salary as a representative. He did not say, "Oh, I will not take this money until I get my full money as a speaker." So the bottom line of the thing is, Fonati has accepted his fate, and he just want to drag this thing and to also gain popular sentiment. But the case are gone beyond that, and it has been resolved. Rachel Kuhn is the speaker, and we're going to make sure. Look,
that Fonanti is getting paid.
All right, no problem. Anthony, talk. I'm not talking again.
No, Charles, you don't do that. Please go ahead, Fambule.
No, Anthony can go ahead. I rest on that case. Fonanti is
all right. So then let's take not Anthony now. Let's take Cindy. Cindy, please take your 30 seconds.
I find it very interesting how my brother Francis is proceeding on this. So I want to open some grammatical class here tonight. This is not personal. This is just to explain. Francis, what you are doing is called logical inconsistency. Okay, you are also using self-contradiction, which is very oxymoron in your thought. The two statements that you are using directly opposes each other, my brother. You're saying, I do not support his removal, which implies that the man should stay. But you are saying, I support his eviction, which implies that he should leave. There's some level of cognitive dissonance in those statements. Huh? I see some paradoxical reasoning.
Listen, no, from a grand queen, dress that content today.
Let me see what a BB bought. Let me break it down for you, like people.
I read, you got read on that shit.
You do not have 24 seconds, so don't come back.
They say
when language here, I'll break it down for you, like people. Say you won't contradict. You say I contradicted myself.
And put it on his shirt Well, that's a symbol that a crew made.
I can't wait to call you that person. They made a PhD
Got red and blue pen on his shirt.
Look, I just put something in our chat room where one of the lawyers in Liberia criticized the judicial branch. If you can read that, except you understand that what I was saying is exactly what he said, and I just discovered it while when I got you speaking. So the thing is that, look, our system in Liberia, especially that branch of government, I think they created all the problem that was exacerbated by our president, because President Boakai, I don't know. The thing is, all the 42 years, I think they were just wasted. Because if you look at it, if you have that kind of experience, right, and you cannot resolve small issues like that, now it has become so big and wide. Look, man, I'm just so frustrated, and maybe I won't be able to use the right words here. So I just want to pass on it and just continue to another topic. Thank you.
Hold your heart, my brother. Hold your heart.
Nelson, remember from last night, George did the same thing. He came back. He going back behind the scene and going to read some messages and come back and respond. He did it last night.
That's my position. You have to open university on you today. But Anthony, in all fairness, that's exactly what Francis did. Cindy took that from me. But here's the thing: the matter here, whether or not we like it, Fanatikova was illegally removed from office. That is clear. Secondly, the way in which they went by taking his thing today is also illegal. You don't just look when somebody steal from you and you see your property in the person here in the street. You don't get grabbed their property and say that my property here. You don't do that. You call the police, and the police will come and identify and investigate and say, okay, after the investigation, they find the property. You tell what the man property. How they can do it? You can't get say, oh, that's my property here, right? You can't do it. Francis, the man was a lawmaker, elected speaker. His removal was controversial. We already know. Then you go in behind you again, removing a thing without the due process again. That's another situation you're creating. Whether or not that a household, we already know that's not a house. But he was placed in that office because he was elected speaker. It is his removal that created all the calamity that we have. And in the same token, they have to do it the right way. They can't get it wrong twice. They got it wrong by removing it illegally. Now they're going after the things illegally. You can't do that. You can't continue doing the wrong thing over and over and over. And that's what they continue to do, right? So at least that they try to do something. Now, James Colette should be embarrassed of himself, speaking of rule of law. Like, you went to a main office without a warrant. You don't know that you're supposed to have a warrant? And not even you. It's supposed to be the sheriff doing that work. We have sheriff in Liberia, or the deputy from the court to do that work. Not you as a lawmaker. That's not your place. You already done your part. But again, because they just so want to show power, so every little thing they want to be inside. James Colette, you're not supposed to be down there today. The deputy from the court, or with the sheriff, the judge, a warrant, come there, talk to the sergeant at arms, they go there and do that job. No representative should even be there.
Thank you.
But you see, in Liberia, everybody want to be everything. They don't even know their job function. That another representative is supposed to go in another representative office to remove that property. Is that how it works?
Thanks a lot, Anthony. Let's hold you there. I want us to transition a bit. Last year at about this time, we had a report here. We invited the guys. We have a conversation around it. The Center for Transparency and Accountability is a local chapter of Transparency International. They track the functions or the workings of governments across the world, and they get to establish how much of a progress those different governments or organizations are making with respect to the fight against corruption globally. And last year, there were different indicators, there were different scores the government had or got in several areas, in different sectors, respect for the rule of law, the fight against corruption, and all those different areas. The score for Liberia last year was not encouraging that much, and a lot of people criticized even the organization, Central, for the score given the government of Liberia. This year, okay, so last year, the report for last year was based on the government's performance in 2023. And so the report for this year is as a result of the government's performance in 2024. So as per what Central released, in 2023, the government got a score of 25 or 25%, talking about the level of the fight against corruption, how much of a progress the government was making, and all of that. The government got 25 points in 2023. And in 2024, based on the government performance with respect to the fight against corruption, on the Corruption Perception Index of Transparency International that was released today, the government got a 2-point jump or a 2-point improvement from 25 in 2023 to 27 points in 2024 on the Corruption Perception Index, claiming 2 places or claiming by 2 points on the index for the first time in 7 years.
So what were those indicators that gave them 2 points on the corruption level?
Yeah, so basically, it's about the steps that the government has taken with respect to the fight against corruption. The improvement in
what step they are taking?
No, I'm coming, Anthony. The steps the government is taking with respect to fighting corruption and public fighting corruption in the public space, corruption in the public sector, how much of an effort the government is making. And aside from just looking at what the government is doing, they also go ahead and speak to folks across the country, get the views of Liberians on what they think the government's strives are with respect to the fight against corruption. Is the government fighting corruption? What are some of the areas you think the government is fighting corruption? What has the government done that makes you think the government is fighting corruption? And I'm saying this because last year at about this time, we hosted them on this very show, and they were able to elaborate as to how they gather the pieces of information that they use. They do their own fact findings on and come up with their reports. They file the reports to Transparency International that then comes up with a holistic, finding on all of those different countries across the world. But we are talking about Liberia making progress in the fight against corruption. And last year, it was at this place, the same 25 points. And a lot of people criticized the government, Some people criticized the organization as well, that the organization was not being transparent, but they came up to defend their position. And they're coming back this time around to say that for the first time in 7 years, Liberia is making improvement by 2 points on the corruption perception index on Transparency International as to the level of progress that the Liberian government is making in fighting corruption. Is this something that
I have a concern, Mr. Host. I know they gave 2% increase on the corruption thing.
2 points.
Where
2
are
points.
the indicators as to why the 2 points were given?
Anthony, I don't think Nelson has the entire graph in front of him.
Anthony, if you ask me as if I work with Transparency International, then I'm not here to give you that information. You can reach out, you can email Transparency International, you can reach out.
Invite them again.
What I'm telling you is that as per the information they provided to us when we hosted them here, Center for Transparency and Accountability, when the report was very damaging on the government last year, they defended their position. And according to them, they work with other organizations. They investigate the steps that government is taking with respect to the fight against corruption. For example, last year, they mentioned how the president, the Unity Party administration at the very early stage was involved with, nepotism. They wanted to talk about how people who were related to the president were being appointed to certain positions in government, all of those things. I mean, there were some very terrible things that were mentioned in that report. But this year, as per the report from Transparency International, they are saying that the government has made progress, a 2 points jump when it comes to the fight against corruption, the first time in 7 years. Now, and this is where even us now on this platform, we have to critique them. Let's make sense around what they're saying. Let's make some analysis around what they're saying. Let's use their own indicators or their own perception, their own report they're coming up with, and match it with our own observation as per what we've seen so far over the period of 1 year. Does the report that says the government is making progress with respect to the fight against corruption, does it match the reality? Does it match what we see in the newspapers, what we read on a daily basis, what we see on the social media? Does it match the reality of the Liberian people, what we see in the public sector? I want us to make some analysis around this. Is this something that we should be celebrating as Liberians? That yes, a report is coming up now globally, is saying that we're making progress. We've jumped 2 points, first time in 7 years, with respect to the score we're getting on the corruption perception index. Let's start from here, and maybe we should start with you, Anthony, and then we're going to go around the table.
Nelson, yeah, that's what I'm going to say to you. Take your camera to the streets. Hear from the Liberian people, raw data, unfiltered, and you hear it for yourself. Look, the Waka administration came with some sort of intention to fight corruption with the establishment of the asset recovery team. I would say yes, but the team itself failed the Liberian people, failed this administration right off the jump. I mean, it was dead on arrival. The formation of a team called Asset Recovery was so welcoming to the Liberian people, home and abroad. Everybody was like, oh yes, it's about time now. It's about time. People were excited, including every one of us here, including myself. Because for me, I long to see the day that government officials will be behind bars for crime that they commit. I really want to see that. I want to see top government officials be held accountable for, stealing from the Liberian people or doing things, out of the norm, and be held accountable for it. Not your personal life, but the government office that you occupy, and if you do something that was not right, you should be punished for it. I long to see that day. But impunity has become the way of life in Liberia, that nothing happened. We just saw the NOCA CEO. They said the president gave a decree, don't use the vehicle, don't do this. What was so happening? She defiantly took the vehicle and went to LACC, right? Nothing happened to her. Look,
So, Anthony, what you say in short is that you don't agree that the government has improved or there has been some improvement with respect to the fight against corruption.
Tell me, what has this government done on the land of corruption that any Liberian can say, yeah, kudos to this government for doing it? The former asset recovery thing, people were excited. And what did this asset recovery thing do? This year, the national budget has zipped $0 for article asset recovery. Zero. Last year, it was like in the tune, I think, $300,000 or $400,000 were allocated. This year, zip. You know why? Because asset recovery, dead on arrival. The government did not even give a penny to asset recovery this year because they know that this asset recovery didn't do what was expected. Even the executive order that the president gave outlined how they should go about doing things. You know, make sure you have the rightful information, make sure you have the rightful individual, make sure your evidence is supported by they get a court order before you go after people. They boycotted all of those things. They started doing their own thing. And guess what today? Some of them resigned, some of them stayed there, and asset recovery have become another, thing in the dustbin. That's what happened to asset recovery. So how then they can say the government jumped 2 points? What can we point to? The central bank governor was suspended. He had been settled. $300K. I mean, how do you fight corruption like that? Is that how you fight corruption? By settling a guy that you claim that he's corrupt, that he was audited, and the audit report showed that he's corrupt. You suspended him without pay, and then gave him a package and said, "But man, have a good day. Take your case from the court." Is that how you fight corruption? Yeah, help me understand, because my ignorance is not, allowing me to understand the other process.
Well, thanks a lot, Anthony. I want to put this up, but let me. I'll try to see the possibility of doing this. Just before moving to the next person. On this corruption, on the CPI, the Corruption Perception Index, Denmark is ranked number 1. Finland, Singapore, Zealand, all of those countries. Now, I want to take just two aspects of the report here. For some reason, it's going to take me some time to get it up. So let me just read from here. But you can go to Transparency International site and you will get the raw report from there. So it says here, alignment declines and reasons for hope. Over the past decades, Lesotho, who was at 37th place, it says Lesotho, 37th place, has dropped 12 points as the government has cracked down on civil society and silenced journalists. In 2023, activists attempted to peacefully protest against the Philly Hall Dam project for its negative impact on the country, but the Lesotho Defense Force confiscated protesters' placards and forcefully shut down the protest, coupled with so that's for Lesotho, for example, why the country has dropped so many places. So let's come to Liberia. This is what the report says about Liberia. It says Gabon, 27th place, and Liberia, 27 points. Have both recorded 10 points decline since 2014. But recent developments in two countries gave reasons for hope. A 2023 coup ended 56 years of single. Okay, so this is for Gabon. Let me come to where it has Liberia. Okay, so this is Liberia. So it says Liberian President Joseph Boakai took office in January 2024, provided a public asset declaration, and initiated audits of key state institutions, including the central bank, offering hope for the future. Now, this is just a portion of the report here. And if you go through the entire thing, you will see the whole detail as to why Liberia got 2 additional points on the scorecard. All right? But the organization is saying that just the fact that the government now got in office and they hit the ground running with the investigation and then making sure that they go after, they initiate audits and all of those things. Those were key steps that provided, that presented some sort of hope for the future when it comes to the fight against corruption, coupled with a couple of other things that got this report to where it is. But I want us to make progress. Let's hear from you, Fambule, on this one. Or maybe you want us to take Cindy and then we can come back to you.
No, Cindy can wait. I'm not going to wait for Cindy. Thank you very much, Nelson. I really, I don't know why people get so bitter when positive news about a country and hit the stage, and this makes me to feel so bad that people claim to love the country and they only dwell on negative stuff. People will see that this government try, at least for some reason, initiated a will to track down people who were accused or alleged of corruption. That will alone, for the first time, you see the president declaring his asset publicly. Was that seen in previous government? The vice president declared his asset publicly, and other key government officials also declare their assets. Today, you have the LACC inviting people who are alleged of corruption, citing them for conferences. Today, you have the president giving executive order for asset recovery. Is that not enough for us to say, oh, there is a political will for us to track or crack down on corruption? You think corruption in Liberia is something that can be fixed overnight, or can be mesmerized by the articulation or the standard English that we're using on the platform? You think all of the grammar that we're using on the platform is enough for the Liberian people? Yeah, I know. Some of our friends who have the red and blue pen will come here and use all those grammar and thing to cajole the people. But the issue here is oh man, don't live for your head like that.
I said it, the government to know.
But man, let be real. The situation on ground affects everybody. You and myself, we can talk this every day, but the very people who are causing the problem that we have today in that country, they are not people who are imported. They are all Liberians. For a Liberian to be appointed to a position and all he thinks about is to steal from the country, there is where all of our energy should fight to try to take that particular thing, because it has become so genetic. It is now in their blood. But the president has already said it. When you come to government, should be of service. So Sentai gave a very good report. Let us give kudos, man. Let us put aside this bitterness and say at least we get 2 points. 2 points make Man City to carry the Premier League over Arsenal last
Do you know what 2 points mean on that index?
I'm telling you now, 2 points made Man City to become champion of the Premier League last season. So just know that 2 points is a significant point. Let us celebrate the 2 points and challenge the government to increase the point, and to do more so the point can increase next year. And this are never happened for the past 7 years, and you're happy. Let us say, okay, we know there are a lot more to be done, but let us celebrate this too and put pressure on the government, like as we have always been doing, so that we can get more and more to do. And let us continue to shame those people who always coming to steal from our Liberian people to destroy our country. There where our fight should be. Thank you, Nelson.
Sandy, you want to come in?
Yeah, well, Nelson, thank you. I will celebrate the 2 points. I will say I will recognize those 2 points, considering Central is a reputable reporting organization. Now, what that means is that Liberia now is the 141st corrupt nation in the world. Okay, there are 180 countries measured by Centel, by the International Center for Transparency. And of the 180, they said Liberia, our country, is 141 on the corruption list. That means we are very corrupt. Okay, 27 points out of 100. 0 means very corrupt, 100 means clean. Liberia scored 27%. That means we are very corrupt. So while it is true that we will celebrate the 2-point increase, let us not forget, Liberian, there is nothing to celebrate here. Let us not forget that we are 27% out of 100%. That means our country is chronically corrupt. That means the people who are supposed to benefit from the Liberian resources are not benefiting from the resources. That means people that James collect them and their life are stealing from you. That means your government official that you're clapping for, you follow and you worshiping, they are stealing from you. 27% out of 100 is nothing to celebrate here. The president didn't put us above 50%. We are still chronically corrupt. But let me legitimize Centel. It is actually a legit organization. But how do they do their measurement? Nothing, they use the CPI, the Corruption Perception Index. It is perception, Corruption Perception Index. It is based on people's opinion. It is based on perception. It is based on you asking people, what are the situations in the country? They use business people, they use experts in the country, but it is still perception, Corruption Perception Index. So you could come to me and ask Sandy, how's the country? I could tell you different things. You could go to my brother Charles. Charles will tell you different things. It's based on perception. But the organization itself is legit. But the indicators that Anthony was asking for, that you were struggling to respond to, is CPI, Anthony. Perception. There are 13 independent data sources that they use. 13 independent data sources that they use. They usually engage the World Bank, the African Development Bank. They use business individuals in the country. They use social.
They work with different organizations. Journalists,
religious leaders, different organizations. But all of that is still perception. So we agree, we see a 2-point increase.
Yeah, it is a survey, so
2-point increase from the 25 we had during 2023, 2024. Now we are at 27. Okay, 27%. But still, man, for our nation. So now we can tell the Liberian people, you can see now why your children are not going to school, why you are not eating on time, why your roads are not being built, why your hospitals don't have medication. The reason all of that is that we are the 141 corrupt nation in the world.
Thank you.
141 corrupt nation in the world. That's a shame, Nelson.
Charles, let's hear you.
And Bwaka is in charge.
Yeah, thank you, Sandy. Thank you so much. That where I was going. But let me just break it down in our own Liberian people where they will understand it. So imagine your child is going to school. In Liberia, our grading system is from 70 up, you pass. Am I correct? 70 up, you pass. But Centel is telling us Liberia is going to school and our grade is 27. That's how massively we fail. That's how massively Liberia fail when it comes to Centel report. Yeah, we agree that is in fact, the last time when the gentleman came up here, he said from different sources. And I think it was Francis or someone who asked the question, and He said, yeah, they gathered that information from journalists, civil society group, and this and that, and he listed some, and other organizations, and it's all based upon opinion. But those opinions is not from the common people. That's where my problem comes. It's
No,
from those
Charles, the common people are included. They do ask common people as well.
No. They don't go in the marketplaces and ask people. They don't do that. They don't go in marketplaces and ask people. They ask people who stay driving in a limousine.
Sorry, leave me alone, man.
Stay driving in a limousine and thing passing around. That's the people they use. But again, we don't want to trash the 2 point. The 2 point is a step in progress. We recognize it, and we recognize the step in progress. But my disappointment is that I actually want to get a copy of that report to read what are those indicators, those things that cause us to get the 2 points, that cause us to generate that 2 points. Because with what we see in Liberia,
the portion of the report that talks about why.
No, Nelson.
Share the link in the group chat.
Nelson, it's on the internet. You can Google that, please.
Yeah, Nelson. That's what I said. I'll have to.
Let me share this thing here.
Nelson, I will have to take my time, read over the entire report.
Yeah, so you can go to it and read the entire
I'll
thing.
read the entire report and know, okay, Liberia got this 2 increase because of X, Y, and Z. Because when you look at the country today, we talk about central bank wasting money, we talk about NOCA wasting money, we talk about internal affairs minister wasting money. With all of these things, and we have 2 points, I really want to know what gave us the 2 points. But again, there's nothing much to say until I read the entire report to know. But the 2 point is indeed a step forward.
Let's hear you on this one, Josh.
Yeah, they say we scored 25 last time, so we get 27 now.
Thank you, Nelson. Just like the previous callers the previous panelists just said. Look, I'm a little bit skeptical.
For my name. You don't know my name?
Okay. Charles P. Gonga and my man Anthony. Look, I understand the euphoria around this, where people are so jubilant, you know what I mean? Because they're so desperate for good news. We cannot say we are desperate for good news. We want the news should be authentic and justified. Once those, the hurdles are passed, then of course we can rejoice, because look, Liberia is what we have, and there's no one who can say, they are more Liberian than anyone else. We all love Liberia and we want the best for Liberia, but we cannot sit here and anybody come. The same thing that used to happen in the past government, when they say, the World Bank said Liberia is doing well, the economy is doing well, while others are rejoicing. These same people here who are now chastising us, they were the same people who are very skeptical, who are receiving the news with skepticism, by saying, oh no, how come when this happen, why can't this happen? We are doing the same thing, scrutinizing, holding the government feet to the fire. They are angry. And that's how Liberia is, and that's why we continue to retrogress, right? In our push for a better Liberia, because the thing that was bad yesterday is good today. But what I want to say to this report, I want to make sure that I want to read a report, because I know there is a perception of corruption that's in the country. A lot of things are happening. Even now, we see President Bwaka is paying people off. You know what I mean? How can you, when you cannot recover assets from the people you said stole the whole country money and ran away with it, when you cannot recover assets from them, how will you think that you can fight corruption in your own government? The people that you hate, they say these people were bad, they're not good for Liberia. So when we come, we will make sure that George, we are for the 2 condominiums, we're going to get it for him. The cars are in the street. What they say for the government, but then they give it to somebody to run it. We take it from there. All these things, they are not recovered one asset yet. So if you cannot do that, how can you fight corruption in your own government? The people that you brought that you like. Now, if they feel that you corrupt, they will take it from there and bring somebody else, so the person can steal their own too. They don't put it behind bars to create that deterrence, but they will just take it from there and say, go, We don't want you again. That other person can steal their own too.
Thank
Your
you.
own finish now, your time finish from stealing. So it's ridiculous, Nelson. So the best thing we can do for this country is to make sure that when information comes to us, that even when it is good news or bad news, we should scrutinize it to make sure that it's authentic, it is real, and it passes the test of any scrutiny. So thank you.
Finally, Francis, take us to the phone lines. We'll take just a few calls.
Yeah, it's gonna be quick. I believe that report, based on what you read, Nelson, is about I was just saying assumption, assuming that corruption will decrease based on the president's agenda, his arrest agenda. But one thing that stopped corruption, one of the issues that I say is I don't even think that 2 point is necessary or it's true is because one, the president, who is he holding accountable? The easier thing that he could do to stop corruption is asset declaration. He has a lot of people right now that are mounting wealth in that country. Thousands of people that he appointed, hundreds of people, the number have reduced that he appointed, are mounting wealth but have not declared an asset yet. So everything those people are accumulating right now, be it legally or not, by the time they declare an asset, everything will be added onto it. So even if they didn't steal, the asset declaration should have been filed with the LACC at this time, so that if a serious government want to audit people based on what on the asset declaration, they can go back to it. But he's saying that they're doing nothing about it. Crispy took money to buy cars for inauguration. No accountability. Even though the former administration shouldn't have even given them money because they were not even in office yet. The last administration allowed them to take money from Social Security. That's all the be so. And everybody know the central bank issue. And all of the audits that have been going on in our country, we saw the one from the LTEA, not the LTEA, the folks that protect the EPS. We saw the central bank. Everywhere they talk about audit. All of these reports came out. What has been done about it? So how you say this administration is fighting against corruption, but you see nothing? There's nothing to show. No evidence of this person was corrupt. We investigated this entity or this person, and we prosecuted that person. Nothing. Or you pay a big governor that you said was corrupt. So how you pay me for stealing the people's money just so I can remove myself so that you can put somebody else there too? How does that make sense? How is that fighting corruption? So when they talk about this 2 point, I'm pretty in my layman understanding is the assumption of his agenda, the arrest agenda. They figure, okay, if he really go by this agenda, corruption can be eliminated and reduced drastically in Liberia. But we all know that's not the case because he is doing absolutely nothing about it. Absolutely nothing. The guy for Commerce Ministry did not resign. President Brown, I'm not going to fire that man. But I mean, Moda is a proud man, doesn't want to be dragged through the mud and all that stuff. He know what he did was wrong. So he moved himself. President Brown is never going to remove Amin Moda. And look, let's talk about Amin Moda. The person Amin Moda received, his ministry received the car, right? But what about Thomas Jala, the LRA boss that used the money? He took the money and bought a car for Amin Moda for Commerce Ministry. Ain't still got his job. So he said corruption. So Amin Moda did not resign. He will still be there. The government that 2 point is based on the assumption of his agenda. Or the agenda is so good if they implement it, corruption will be reduced. But nothing. That was scam.
Well, thanks a lot, Francis. I want us to go to the phone lines and take just 5 calls, and then we'll come back to do our closing. 0555-101075. 0555-101075 is the number. We take our first caller here. Hello, your name and where you calling from?
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. You're live.
Yeah, my name is Stephen Ivan. I'm calling from.
Yeah, go ahead quickly.
For me, this thing that's happening, I'm not surprised because no Baka administration is notified to do the unusual thing. those guys, they are reincarnated and unrepentant criminals. You know, if you come with the agenda of the arrest to bring transformation to our country, the first thing, if you are serious minded government, you're going to start on your own government official. What do I mean by that? When little taxes stole our inauguration money today, those guys are going on free. Those guys are going on punished.
Go on free?
Even you go on punished. Have you been called for investigation? The answer is no. We have people in the government who are looting this country. With on record, because basically they took money to purchase car around here. They are saying the government. Look at Doma Jala. When the people bought those yellow machines, Baka told us that, let me see if Doma Jala will answer many for yellow machine.
What's the conclusion, sir? Just so we take others. You want to just go to the point.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. So this government is not serious management. People are sitting on the walls of Baka.
Okay, hello.
Nelson, good morning.
Yeah, morning.
Good morning, and good morning to your panelists.
Yeah, go ahead.
Quickly, our young brothers that are in studio, I want to press sign kindly to them. They are very young, and when they come in on the platform, let them leave their political jacket and go to the issue. They are young, they have energy, and they can do extensive research. Quickly to the COFA issue. Anything that is wrong today, except you change a step, it's still wrong. I like what Francis said. Francis said removing the man was wrong. But he now giving credit for the main office to be broken into. You don't use crime to solve crime. So if you listen to Dr. this day, you will get to know that autovirus, anything that's not done legally is not done at all. So people were attacking Sunny when he brought the article to a. Now, to serve as a speaker, it's a privilege. The man illegally have been removed.
Okay.
And all the privileges have been ceased.
Thank you.
So it will leave our political jackets.
Let me hold you there.
And face Liberia. Yeah, please. Don't let me come to family. I need to follow family. But family, you are a very young guy. Don't always say I'm going to defend. Like Vasco, we're not here tonight. Don't say I will always defend. Go to the issue and speak up. You got it in your favor.
All right.
The platform, somebody can recommend you.
Thank you very much.
Please leave it.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for your input tonight. Hello, your name and where you call from?
Yeah, good morning, there and brothers. My name I call from Odes Town.
Yeah, let's hear you quickly.
From around the second belt.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, brother Mercy, I want to say many thanks to you and your panelists on the show. I follow closely. And I want to say it's a very good work that the media is doing. Because when you have a government that is just relaxed and nobody beating their back, they can do things straight. And I want to, remind President Bouaka that this government, we the citizens of Liberia, we went in the ring. We campaign for this government to come to power because we want changes. And we are seeing that people that Bouaka brought on board, President Bouaka rather, brought on board, they are the ones, carrying the country backward. Let me go to the issue of the local CEO.
Yeah, we actually not discussing the local thing tonight.
I want to stress that, please.
1 minute, sir. Yeah. So I'm sorry, I want to hold you there and bring another caller in because we're seriously out of time. Please. Hello. Quickly, 1 minute. Let's hear you.
Nelson, Tommy Jr., Virginia. Just want to get my point quickly. I know everybody already exhausted the talking point about the eviction, so I'm not going to touch it. I do want to talk quickly, though, about the Sentinel report. I see a lot of our brothers are downplaying 2 points improvement that our country achieved. Nelson, that's actually the average points that most countries achieve within a year. It's a good thing that we're getting 2 points. It's not excellent. We still need to not be complacent. But most countries, on average, get improved by 2 to 5 points. And then over time, as long as we sustain that growth, we can make a big move. But very rarely do you hear that nations improve more than 5 to 10 points within 1 year. So
Okay.
that's the point I wanted to make. Thank you for the time.
Thank you very much for your input tonight. Let's take Paber de Noir. Hello, welcome. Hello.
Yeah, how you doing, Nancy?
Yes, sir. 1 minute. Let's hear you quickly, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. My issue here is the 2 point. Why not we celebrate the 2 points? The 2 point is very much important to all of us, whether our government is bad or our government is good. Then the second point I want to talk about today is Ponati Kofa.
Quickly.
I heard other Liberians from different sectors of our politics condemning Representative Colette. Can all of us record that they wrote Ponati Kofa on several occasions and he refused to accept what the primary took to him? If you don't want the people that the legislative politics is different from other political activities in our country. The people have their own law. If you can't follow their rules and regulations, they do what they want to do.
Thank you.
So I don't see no reason why they should just follow Colette today, criticizing him, doing this one, doing that one.
Okay.
It's just unfair to
Let's go you there,
Colette
okay.
and the present leadership. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Let's hold you there. We'll take the last 2 calls, making it 7. Because I see a lot of people want to weigh in their thoughts on these talking points tonight. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, you are live. Let's hear you quickly, sir.
My name is Jawad Akbarina from Tinsville.
Okay.
I just want to speak shortly on the issue of the former speaker, Speaker Jofo Nanti Kofa. And let me retrospect something. In 1985, after Mara Ellen Johnson Sirleaf lost, that the election was not fair, she refused to sit as senator for Montserrat County. So the best thing Honorable Kofa can do for himself is not to begin to be hypocritical. I don't know those who are speaking for him. Inside, he agrees that he's no more speaker. By that I mean, he is receiving benefit from what Kung signed on the budget. That is a law. He accepts that and receives the benefit from it. But when he says he's still the speaker, how can that be? How can that be? Those who are speaking for him carry to all the other reject whatsoever is there that Kung signed on. They will not be serious. They will not see it. Go there, you receive it. Then Canada is there as speaker. Is he the one who carry on the budget of the speakership of the House? No. He doesn't have that budget anymore. So he's not that he's not speaker. Those who talking for him, I don't understand what I don't understand what really going on.
Thank you very much, sir. Let's hold you there and take another person here. Hello.
How are you?
Yes, sir. We're doing good. Let's hear you.
Yeah, okay. I'm calling from Simba. You know, like things going in our country. There's certain thing that I am worried about. And that is 2020 now. The way I see this government proceeding, just look at the record of Unity Party when they were bringing people that were non-compliant to the United Nations Security Training and they forced them in the system. Let me say an example on the National Port Authority. Every employee of the National Port Authority is employed and signed a contract of 25 years. But when President Biden came to power, the redundant people who they were paid and they never settled them. So that will come back to the issue. The way I see the government proceeding, we the Liberians need to worry. It shows that the government is very lawless and they are capable of making election. They are capable of seizing our country. So the opposition leader and we that are political, we need to stand up. If we don't stand up, mark my word, that this guy will see the country and not will be done. You can see Jim Colera, a posture alone shows that he's very lawless, and he said, who are we? Who are the social people? Because he got the backing of the executive. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for your input. Folks, sorry, we can't take any more calls. We'll do our closing now. Kamala, you can go ahead and kickstart the closing 1 minute each.
Thank you very much, Nelson, and we want to say thank you to all our callers and followers out there. And the issue about our being on this show at this time is always about Liberia. And whenever there's something good that is done for our country, we come out and we say it. And we are not going to close a blind eye to the situation or that is happening in our country. I have agreed with many other people that the suffering in Liberia is a creative suffering. It's something that is architecturalized. People film work it and they structuralize it and they put everything there, and it has become deeply inculcated in our system. And because it is deeply in our system, it has become very, very difficult to weed out. So all we can do as patriot, as nationalists, is to keep and speaking truth to power, and making sure that people who are called on to serve national leadership should go there with and serve their country with honesty, go there with the fear of God first, knowing for the way that your position is to serve and not to steal. So thank you very much for the show. What a nice show. And we will always come here and tell our people it is time for us to be patriotic and very nationalistic. Let us move Liberia forward. Put down your bono, put down that stealing habit. It will lead our country nowhere. Thank you.
Cindy, let's hear you.
Nelson, the reason some of us come here is to speak truth to power, is to hold the government accountable. We are not here to praise the government every time. We are here to make sure we hold them accountable. What's happening in Liberia is something that should all of us draw our attention to. It's not okay. We saw our country going through 15 years of brutal civil crisis because of similar things like this. When something is not done right, it's not done at all. What's happening to Funati Kofa is unfair. Look, let's go to the eviction again today quickly. We shouldn't have seen a lawmaker over there today, James Coley. Apparently, he doesn't know his function. The Liberia House of Representatives does not have direct law enforcement authority. They don't. So why was James Coley over there today? To evict somebody's office. Why was he there?
Wow.
His responsibility is to make law, to have oversight. Oversight, something that they don't even do well. They do not monitor the executive branch. They don't hold government agency accountable. They sit there and they take bribery from them. That's why he should have been focused on. Nelson, I didn't see the video fully, but maybe help us understand. Was there any member of the Liberia National Police present today? If there were, then that's good. If there was no member of the Liberia National Police present during that eviction, then people that Musa Asabelete have a legal case here. Because the sergeant at arms cannot carry on eviction. That's not the sergeant at arms responsibility. Nelson, the sergeant at arms responsibility is to maintain order during legislative session, to escort unruly lawmakers or people that are misbehaving during section, to protect assets of the lawmaker. The sergeant at arms does not have any authority to carry out any eviction according to our constitution, according to our laws. So let us speak to the law. Let us not just speak here with emotion. What happened today was wrong, and I think they should take on some legal actions. But again, we know Liberia, the executive branch will step in again and no legal action will have any effect.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Charles?
Yeah, that's it. Thank you again for having me here. Always a pleasure to be here. My brother Cindy asked a question why James Coder was there. And the answer to that question is only because of power, and he wanted to show himself. That's the direct answer to that question. But let me add my voice to the last quarter. I may not recognize his name, but let me add my voice to the last quarter. The way our country is proceeding, the way things is going in our country is completely wrong. And and all of these actions from so-called majority bloc only because they are being backed by the executive branch. It is because of this same executive branch that today they are saying the executive don't have any fish to fry in this oil. Because of that same executive branch interpreting the law, make them to masquerade the compound of the legislature to say, yes, they now won a case. And today they are working on that. All of what is going on, our people are the ones suffering. Our people are the ones going through these hard times, this hardship. Today, we have 50 megawatts of electricity in our country. They have been reduced to 7.5 or 7 megawatts in our country.
No, that's 27.5.
27.5. Our people, the one directly going to be affected. When you check in hospitals, our people are going to be directly affected because there's no jobs, no beds, nothing at all to treat them for illness. When you check in the schools, you find no armchairs, you find things that is just disorganized all over the place. Our people are the ones suffering. Why these guys walk away with millions of dollars in their pocket for they and their children. And that's the interesting thing. Their children are not in those schools that they refuse to fund. Their children are going to private school, that private people get a school and build it well and put enough chairs, enough equipment in it that the children is sitting comfortably. But the poor people children are in a public school, they don't have armchairs to sit on, but they enjoying the Liberian people money while the masses are suffering. The way our country is going is very bad, and there's a need for this government to take a break and see things. And like I said, this president is not in charge. The people around him, they are the one in charge, and the president might have a good heart for this country, but the people around him are the one messing this country up and creating a problem on President Joseph Boaga. Again, let me say thank you to our people all around the place. Thank you for giving us your ears. We appreciate you. And let me say thumbs up to me. Thank you.
Josh, quickly, let's hear you.
Look, Nelson, thank you. It was a really good show. It's always good to come on here and share our thoughts. Our thoughts might not be 100% correct, but they are our thoughts, and we have to stand by them. If you cannot stand by what comes up in your mind, what else can you stand for? What other people say? No. For me, my originality is what keeps me going, because I don't intend to use anyone's word or anyone's thought process. I use mine. And that's what I say. I'm not infallible. I could be wrong. But I have to stand by my thoughts because they are my thoughts. They are things that from all my training, from all my experience, that come together and make sense to me. That's what I say. I think the eviction was wrong. I think this whole process is illegal. The fight is not over yet, but taking over that office does not end the fight. I think there's more we're going to see in the coming days and weeks and months, because President Boakai is not a good leader. President Boakai, who has stopped this thing from the onset, but because he wanted a yes man, somebody will say yes to him at the legislature, that anything he sends there, whether good or bad, they will just rubber stamp it and will go forward. That's why he's trying to fight hard to remove Representative Fonante Kofa. And that speaker, for me, in my mind, he still remains the Speaker of the Republic of Liberia, because as you could see yesterday at the program, Kun sat down there and his name was not mentioned by the keynote speaker. It should signify to him that this fight that this greed, like my brother said, my brother Charles T. Gonga, I will always call his full name now because he wants me to do that, is that that's power greed. And I don't know, he wants to go down in history to be one of the person who fought the way to the speakership and still was taken down by the law, because the law remains the law. I think the guys are wrong. I think they should stop doing what they're doing. And President Bouaka, the buck stops with him and stops with him. Because guess what? When everything is said and done, we say during the administration of Joseph Numa Bouaka, this is what happened. And he has taken over the Guinness record now of one of the regime that started on a really turbulent level with a lot of fights, inner fights, and all sort of scandals. And here we are. I want to remind him the asset recovery should be something that he still carries on, because they lied to the Liberian people. Joe, we are stealing our money, using it to build condominium. The other person stealing our money. That's why they're using to do this. The other person doing this. We want them to recover the asset. If they cannot recover it, then they get out, because lies brought into power. And we cannot stand for lies. Thank you, as a nation.
Francis Jabate, finally. Francis, take us home.
Yeah, it's always good to be here, but let me just go first. Our brother Sandy, aka Satya, came with the LU English and tried to confuse the Liberian people, say I was talking left and right. I will still say the same thing. The process of removing Fonante Kofa was not a good one. It was a bad precedent set in our country. But he has been removed. Be it legally or not, he has been removed. Because the budget that is going to run 2025, his signature is not on it. Richard Kun, whether we like it or not, his signature is on that budget. So you guys can say I play mental gymnastics all you want. Fonante Kofa has been removed. So now let's go to the eviction. The office of the Speaker belongs to the Liberian people and should be occupied by the sitting Speaker. Fonante Kofa has been removed. Illegally, he has been removed. He has been removed. Richard Kun should occupy the office. So nobody's going to temper our justice to go through and sit through a long drawn out battle when the man you are asking to leave the office. How can you ask the deputy, or how can you ask the secretary to leave the director's office? Because Richard Kun is the Speaker now. Whether we like it or not, whether we like the process or not, Fonante Kofa is a representative. He should be in a representative office. So if he is asked to kind of remove his things, he should remove it. If not, it will be removed for him. So that's just why it is. I mean, I like how he was removed. But what the topic at hand is, he is no longer the Speaker. He has taken a representative salary. Then let's go back to what George mentioned. Richard Kun was sitting there yesterday at the program. His name was not called. Is it an embarrassment to our country? Yes. But still, he is the Speaker. Whether Joe Biden or President Trump or Emmanuel Macron recognize Richard Kun as Speaker or not, that does not change the fact that he is the Speaker of the Republic of Liberia. So we can all talk about the embarrassment I bring to our country, but it still doesn't change the fact that he is currently the Speaker of Liberia.
Thank you. Thank you, Francis.
Just 10 seconds. Charles also mentioned so in the beginning. I want to talk about, we didn't discuss the topic. He said we keep going by the judge, we are government, and trying to make comparison. My brother, state the facts. That picture with President Sirleaf, former President Sirleaf, former President George Weah, and current President Bouaka, Why did Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and George we are inspecting the troop on foot and President Parker on a pickup truck? Unity Party did not go and dig up that picture or put that collage together and put it on social media. Unity Party did not do it. So they cannot be going back to compare George Weah. See, these shirts are the one that put that collage together. So that get the facts straight. They're not comparing. George also mentioned that Angel is 86 years old. But when I spoke initially in my opening, I said compare them at their age at the time they inspected the truth. So take 12 years for Ellen Johnson's age right now, she'll be 72. I mean 74. Take 12 years for George Weah, 6 years for George Weah's age. President Parker correlate. It's 80 years old.
She's 86. She's 86.
Right, 86 years old. So if you take 12 years from her age, that's what I'm talking about.
I want to say thank you.
Their ages, 5 seconds, I'll say. President Parker is an older man now, regardless if we like him or not. The black people elected him to be their president. The last administration was good. He was going to get 12 years. So do what the Liberal Party want. Just like President Parker, if he continues
Can I get 2 seconds? 2 seconds.
Unity Party will be removed too.
Thank you.
So stop
Thank
what
you.
you're saying.
Well, gentlemen, it's been a great show. I want to say thanks to everyone. Thank you, Fambole. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Charles.
Just a reminder, this is my wedding anniversary. I'll send a message in the chat room. I'll tell you.
You
forgot.
You
think it's easy to get married? You think it's easy?
Happy anniversary, brother.
Well, we want to say
Congratulations to you guys. Congratulations, man.
You should have sent me the photos on my messenger.
Sorry, I posted in the
Exactly. That's what she's going through.
Yeah, she
My man, family, congratulations, my brother. It's not easy to be a family.
I think that the lady who should be congratulating.
My man.
Why you go congratulate a woman when it's not be a man?
But I two person in a relationship, not one person.
I get really tried.
Yeah.
Happy anniversary, my brother. Happy anniversary.
She get 2 jobs. For the hospital, she go and get another job.
She had a baby.
You're trying to say Formula is a job all by himself.
Congratulations, guys.
When I measure my first knee in the hospital, all the nurses now who tie scrub, all they can be looking at me. I was gonna say Maximus, all the nurses can turn and be looking at me.
Yeah. You see the one maximum job, yeah.
For some reason,
maximum job.
The photos shared earlier. Okay, so let me see if I can get them from here.
Yeah, so like what you were saying, I just want to say something quickly. Francis, they say what is not done legally. What is not done legally is not done at all. What is not done properly? What is not done properly is not done at all. So if you agree that the speaker was not removed properly, that means it was not done at all. You still the speaker.
George, here's the thing, right? George, here's the thing. When are we going to stop this kind of thing?
I agree with you guys. But you guys are delusional.
When are
you guys have been delusional by thinking that he's still the speaker and they took his office.
Yeah,
he's
he
no
is
longer
the
the
speaker.
speaker. The
No, he
budget
is the
that's
speaker.
running the country today, his signature is not on it.
Francis,
Can you sign the budget?
Francis, when you go on Google right now, you just go put there librarian.
I don't care for Google. I care for the reality on the ground.
The reality is
Richard Koo is the speaker. Whether we like it or not.
He's not.
Who's starting the budget?
Richard Koo is just power grief.
Who's starting your budget, Charles? Be realistic here.
The budget that the president signed and it went behind him again and start playing in it.
Come on, now.
We're talking one thing. Who is this?
You may not like Richard Koo.
I know Fonati Koba to be the legitimate speaker of
Fonati Koba start your budget.
Guys, we have to make progress. We done with that whole conversation thing now. You don't hear out here with that whole conversation now. Let's make progress. Today is our brother's wedding anniversary, and let's
you focus on me, man. Celebrate me for one. And forget about the whole speaker business.
Focus on me.
We just want to say congratulations to Karen. I think she's doing a good job with this guy. Karen.
Yeah.
So, see your ball living on the air,
The way he laid back, you can tell that he was telling the photographer, you got to be fast. You got to be
fast.
You know?
But the guy be just listen. Now what Bob said, go to the gym. They want to be, but then he tell me hurry and take the picture. My arm hurting me.
Congratulations to our brother Fambule and his dearest wife Karen. We wish you both all the best on your anniversary. We wish you long life, many more years to go. You know,
many more years.
Creating beautiful memories as you move on, and we wish you all the best. Happy
all
anniversary.
your wishes come true.
Yeah. And yes, man. So this is how we like to end it up tonight, man. The show, we end it up by dedicating the show to our brother and his wife. We wish you both all the best.
I live in all the way Haiti to go get one more.
Yeah, man. I saw the Haitian
I'm a married man. I've been married for 11 years. Bridget couldn't take my wife at all. So don't even say that.
Wait. I live in Partnersville as well. I live in Partnersville. I wish to be one of these days. But no, on a serious note, okay, guys, let's put it this way. Politics aside, the way Charles can handle this, Rachel Kuhn thing, and coming from the same Partnersville belt,
you want to agree with Lean Lapa.
Lean Lapa may not be right, but we all came up in Partnersville. Charles was in the Goodrich, though I didn't know Charles when I was there. Charles was in Goodrich. I think he was student council president at some time in Goodrich. I was in Konowa High School as I was student council president there as well. We didn't know each other, but we grew up. Everyone who grew up in that environment knew Honorable Kuhn now to be Bo. Everybody just say Bo. So
he doesn't even take everybody with some more.
Let me hold my peace.
Because Charles too bitter with that man. Charles too bitter with that man.
Why would my speaker be doing illegal things? Why would my representative be doing illegal things?
Bitterness is beyond words. It's beyond
bitterness.
You're not even upset about the central issue. You're not even upset about the central issue. The way you're upset about
It's about why my representative will not follow the law.
The man representing our district well. He's not representing
anything about central bank. Why you only Rachel Kuhn? Something behind it.
Well, say thanks to you guys for
any topic,